Okay. We're pretty set up here. Yeah, I think we're pretty good setup here. Oh, let me realign. Okay. Oh, am I not showing up? I am not showing up because I'm actually behind. Alright, there we go. I fixed it. Minor technical difficulties. Everything's fine. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna start today's tier list. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through Gen 1 Pokemon. I am not gonna go through any Mega Evolutions or any different region versions of the Pokemon. I'm gonna leave those as part of their respective generations. So like, for example, if we get to Ninetales, I'm only gonna do base Ninetales. I'm not gonna do Alolan Ninetales. I'm not gonna do the Ice Ninetales. That one stays until we get to that quote-unquote generation that it belongs to. Welcome, Alfonso. Why are there two Venusaurs? I'm so confused. Actually, I might do some of the Mega Evolutions. Let me check how the dex is sorted. When did Mega Evolutions become a thing? Okay, so Gen 7 is when Mega Evolutions were first introduced. So I don't think we're gonna do the Megas. Because if I'm correct, they're listed under... Okay, so the Megas are not listed in the Pokedex under the generation in which they were created. But I believe the Alolan forms are. Let me check, I'm looking through it. Are they? I guess not. So if I scroll down to Ninetales and I click on her, it's gonna give me both forms. We'll see how my taste is. We'll see if you agree with my taste. Okay, so I guess we can go through Alolan forms. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave the Alolan forms for now. Or should I do them? Maybe I should just do them. Alright, remember, we are doing this based on aesthetics and lore. Aesthetics and lore. We are not basing it off of power types. We're not basing off of rarity. We're not basing it off of, like, most popular. These are my opinions on aesthetics and lore. I couldn't tell you what percentage of each, though. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with our top boy, Mr. Bulbasaur. Let me just get back to Bulbasaur. Because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna read the Pokedex entry. Wait a second. Why isn't it give me the Pokedex entry? Is it different in each dex? Oh, it is different in each dex. Huh. Alright, so now I think I need to use a different website. I think I need to use, like, Bulbapedia instead. Hello. Welcome, brother. Let's see. Alright, should I read the Pokedex entries that are in the game, or should I read the biography of the Pokemon that is on Bulbapedia? I'm thinking I should read... Yeah. Alright, that's a physical description. I'm gonna read the Pokedex entries from all the games. Okay. So, it doesn't have... Let's see. A strange seed was planted on its back at birth. The plant sprouts and grows with the Pokemon. It can go for days without eating a single morsel. In the bulb on its back, it stores energy. The bulb-like pouch on its back grows larger as it ages. The pouch is filled with numerous seeds. Alright, gold and silver. Apparently... Well, it seems like it's a symbiotic relationship with the bulb. The seeds on its back is filled with nutrients. The seeds grow steadily larger as its body grows. Alright. So that's the same thing. Bulbasaurus can be seen napping in bright sunlight. There is a seed on its back. By soaking the sun's rays, the seed grows progressively larger. For some time after its birth, it grows by gaining nourishment from the seeds on its back. Alright, so a lot of the lore is repetitive. Okay, alright. Bro, are we gonna make... Well, the thing is, if I read the first one, it's from the original Red, Blue, and Yellow games, so the lore is kind of, like, really bad. I am on Bulbapedia. I'm looking at it through Bulbapedia. Alright. So I'm thinking I'm going to look at this. I'm just gonna, like, skim through them after I read, like, the most important one of them. But if we're just looking at Bulbasaur aesthetically, he's kind of plain. I mean, obviously he's OG. Every good Pokemon player knows that Bulbasaur is the best one. Negative. Squirtle. Squirtle is the best one. Squirtle is the best one. He's got the Squirtle squad. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, we are starting. We are starting. I think we're gonna put him at B. I did. I put him at B. I put him at B. See, the thing is, like, if I go by what you're saying, every Pokemon will be an S. I have to be very, very judicious on how I give out my ratings. Not everybody in the class can get 100. Not everybody in the class can get 100. That's just the facts. Alright, let's go to the... Oh, there's a next button. Ivysaur. Ivysaur. What is the lore for Ivysaur? Okay, I think I'm gonna just read the biology of the Pokemon. So let's go back and read the biology of Bulbasaur. That's pretty much like... Okay. First partner Pokemon that are raised by breeders to be distributed to new trainers. Having been raised by humans from birth, Bulbasaur is regarded as both a rare and well-behaved Pokemon. It is known to be extremely loyal, even after long-term abandonment. Oh my god! Bulbasaurs have demonstrated a nurturing instinct towards younger, weaker Pokemon. One individual even using his vine to pick up a crying Pokemon, gently rocking it back and forth through the air while singing a Bulbabai. Its vines are long and strong enough to allow Bulbasaur to grab the branches of trees and pull itself up to reach berries. Bulbasaur can survive for days without even eating a single morsel. Yeah, it's so much longer than the Pokedex entry, if I read the biography. Alright, for Ivysaur. The weight of the plant prevents Ivysaur from running fast and standing on its hind legs, forcing its legs to grow sturdy. When its flower is ready to bloom, it gives off a distinct sweet-smelling aroma and starts to swell. Ivysaur will also start spending more time in sunlight in preparations for its upcoming evolution. Exposure to sunlight adds to the strength of both Ivysaur and its plant. So it is a parasitic plant. As shown in okay. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Pokemon Sleep. Ivysaur E. You like Ivysaur less than Bulbasaur? Ugly as fuck. I'll put him as a C. I wouldn't say ugly as fuck. Alright, I don't know why there are two Venusaurs, so we're gonna ignore one. Can we remove it? Holy shit, this list is long. I can't remove it. I like Ivysaur's bulb, but he's not as cute as Bulbasaur. Lore's pretty cool, though. He's just... The parasite is just so fat that it makes him impossible to move. Alright. Venusaur uses its flower to catch the sun's rays to convert them into energy, which causes the flower to become more vibrant. The flower releases a soothing scent that attracts Pokemon and calms emotions. This scent can become stronger after a rainy day. Venusaur is at its strongest in the summertime, when there's much more sunlight to absorb. Okay. And is rarely found in the wild. Interesting. So, it's quite a while that the plant is parasitic. Venusaur is also kind of fat. I'm gonna put him as C. He's definitely not my favorite. He's definitely not my favorite of like, the starters. I do not know what that form is. I'm gonna assume that's the Mega form. Yeah, that's the Gigantamax form. I do not like this Gigantamax form. I think it looks stupid. Dislike. Heavy dislike. The Mega form is cool, but the Gigantamax one is kind of doo-doo. Not a fan. The Mega form is cool. Mega form's cool. Mega form B. I like that he like looks super tropical. The extra leaves kind of like really adds to the Venusaur design. But Gigantamax looks dumb. No, no, I don't like how it looks. Talking about aesthetics here. No me gusta. Alright. The Mad Lad. The Charmander. Okay. The flame can indicate Charmander's health and mood, burning bright when the Pokemon is strong, weak when it's exhausted, wavering when it's happy, and blazing when it's enraged. It is said that Charmander would die if its flame were to go out. However, if the Pokemon is healthy, the flame will continue to burn even if it gets a bit wet, and is said to steam in the rain. Okay. Alright. You hate... Oh my god, you hate Charmander. I really like Charmander. I would also put him as B. He's cute as shit. looks super punchable? Okay, so the reason I also have an affinity for Charmanders is because I played a lot of Pokemon Snap when I was younger, and I loved that if you threw a pile of apples in the volcano region, the Charmanders would just run at you, and they would just start like roaring at you. It is very cute. They are very cute little lizards. Alright, Charmeleon. Charmeleon has a vicious, hot-headed nature and will constantly seek out opponents. Strong opponents excite the Pokemon, causing it to spout bluish-white flames that torch its surrounding. Charmeleon enjoys tormenting its opponents in fights, however it will relax once it's won the battle. It is rare in the wild, but can be found in mountainous areas. Alright. Charmeleon best mid-evolution? I don't know. I think it'll count. I definitely like War Turtle. Look at him, he's so fluffy. He's B for me. He's B for me. He's B for me. B for me. Alright, Charizard. Charizard's got so many forms. Oh my god. Alright, Charizard. Where can I read? Charizard flies in search of powerful opponents, and his fire will burn hotter as it gains experience. Its fiery breath can melt boulders, and massive glaciers has been known to cause forest fires accidentally. Though its fiery breath is hot, it never turns it on any opponent weaker than itself. Interesting. That seems counterproductive if all it wants to do is fight people. I guess it has to determine that someone's weaker than it. Let me see what his Pokedex entries are. Spits fires that are hot enough to melt boulders, known to cause forest fires unintentionally. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Charizard is not an F. He's not an F, okay? F is reserved for the worst of the worst. I would put Charizard in a B tier. I would put Charizard in B tier. He's so fat. That's the thing for me. He's really fat. He seems not able to fly fast, but they show him flying fast, and it doesn't make sense. Him and Dragonite don't make sense to me how they can fly fast. Their wings aren't big enough. Alright. I don't... Let me look at this Gigantamax better. He doesn't have wings anymore. His wings are made of fire. I don't like it. No Gigantamax. Dislike. Yeah, no Gigantamax. Blue Dragon, very cool. Blue Dragon, cool. We like the X form and we like the Y form. I like the Y form because he's more slender, he's sleeker, more aerodynamic, makes flying sense. Blue Dragon is not even a dragon. That's true. He's technically not a dragon, is he? Actually, he is. X is a fire dragon. He's not a flying type. He's not a flying type. Alright. Squirtle, my boy, is next. Alright. Squirtle's shell is a useful tool. It can withdraw into its shell for protection or to sleep. The grooves in round shape help to reduce water resistance, allowing the Pokemon to swim at high speeds. Squirtle can spray foamy water from its mouth with great accuracy. Squirtle is scarce in the wild, although it can be found around small ponds and lakes. What is it? It has a soft shell when it's born and soon becomes resilient. Interesting. Interesting. Listen, the reality is that Pokemon get eaten. Squirtle is an A for me. Oh wait, I forgot. I should be putting these in like in chronological order. I think this is more accurate. I like the Charizard better than the Venusaur. Venusaur is yucky. This is like this. Yeah, this is like this. This is like this. Like that. Squirtle Squirtle is amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. He is bald. He's aerodynamic. Or water resistant. I don't know what word you'd rather use. He's meant to swim fast. Alright, War Turtle. Let's go to War Turtle. War Turtle. War Turtle. Because it is... Wait, because... Oh, hold on, my dad's calling. Give me a second. Pausing! Sorry about that, everybody. Dad was calling. My bad, my bad. He wanted to just confirm with me about everything. Kill count, what's your big ass day about? Good luck for whatever it is, but what is it? Okay, so back to it. We're at War Turtle. Let me start from the beginning of... Yeah, I'm fine. My dad was calling about the plan for tomorrow. My brother and him will be driving in really early in the morning. They're gonna get here around 10 so we can start demolition. Because it is larger than Squirtle, has a large shell, War Turtle is a more difficult time walking on land and keeping its balance in the water. War Turtle moves its furry ears and tail as both rudders and balancing rod to maintain balance while swimming at high speeds. Air can be stored in its fur for it has fur? For extended underwater diving? It hides in water when hunting and emerges to surprise its prey. It shows the Pokemon in series that War Turtle can be found living in colonies on islands. I didn't realize it had fur! I thought it was like shiny reptile skin. What? Unless its ears and its tails are what's fuzzy. I don't know. I kinda... I kind of like it because of that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think what sells it for me for the war turtle is that it uses its tails and ears as rudders and balancing for swimming, and it stores air in its fur for extended underwater diving. That's a really cool trait. So because of that, it gets put in A tier, and it's better than Squirtle. Like, that's a really unique characteristic. But I always thought that it was scaly. I never thought that it was fuzzy. I mean, he's always drawn, like, shiny. You think he looks like an old Asian man? I like him. Stop picking on me. Krusty the Clown? Yeah, I know Krusty the Clown. I don't think War Turtle looks like Krusty the Clown. Leave him alone. Alright, you know what? He goes below Squirtle, only because of Squirtle Squad Squirtle. Alright, Blastoise. Blastoise. Alright, Blastoise. The powerful cannons on this Pokemon's back can produce water blasts that can pierce steel and concrete. I think if it can pierce steel and concrete and another Pokemon got shot with it, you would die. Like, instantly obliterated. And be used for high-speed charges. Yeah, it says water blast that can pierce steel and concrete. Yeah, mass madness. The speed of Blastoise's charge is similar to the force of a rocket. Blastoise makes itself heavy to withstand these powerful blasts and crush its opponents. It is shown in the Pokemon series that Blastoise can take the role of a leader in large groups of Squirtles and War Turtles. Its preferred habitat is freshwater ponds and lakes. I don't know. It's saying concrete and steel. That's freaking nuts. If that's true, and he can be used as like a construction grade water jet, then he becomes S tier. Because that's kind of busted. I think this Blastoise, no, I don't like him very much. He looks kind of dumb with his hand turrets. He goes there. Alright, I need to look at a bigger picture of Gigantamax. Gigantamax is pretty dope. Gigantamax is pretty dope. I give Gigantamax an A. Less than Squirtle, more than War Turtle. The only reason I say A is because the Gigantamax one is like, it's a lot. It's excessive. Triple S tier. Like, it's classified as a shellfish, but it's a turtle! It's literally called the shellfish Pokemon. It is a fort. It does look cool, but it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff on that turtle shell. All right. The Pokemon that Misty hates, Caterpie. All right. Caterpie is easy to capture and grows quickly, making it ideal for new trainers. As Caterpies grow and develop over time, they will shed their skin many times before they finally cocoon themselves in thick silk. It can also spit this silk to entangle foes, as seen in the Pokemon series. It has a voracious appetite, driving it to eat hundreds of leaves daily. It will even eat leaves bigger than itself. Its favorite food is the vermilion flower, and they live in temperate forests and jungles. Caterpie, aesthetically, is a very cute Pokemon. Is it cuter than Bulbasaur? No. It is cute though. It is cute though. We put it in the B tier. Alright, Metapod. Metapod's soft body is protected by a hard outer shell as it undergoes metamorphosis. While this shell is said to be as hard as steel, a sudden powerful impact could cause its liquid innards to pop out, leaving it completely exposed. Doesn't it just die? Metapod generally remains motionless, rebuilding its cells for evolution. If an enemy discovers Metapod, it cannot do anything other than harden its outer shell. Metapod lives in temperate forests and jungles, often in groups. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Metapod is definitely not one of my favorites. I'm gonna put him in E. I don't hate him. Hate him like the worst hate him. But he's definitely not my favorite. The only reason he doesn't get put in the F slot is because the Metapod Harden game from Pokemon Stadium is iconic. Alright, Butterfree. The wings of Butterfree are coated with poisonous scales that easily fall off continuously as it flies. If inhaled, it results in severe status conditions. Using this powder, it will defend Caterpies from bird Pokemon. Interesting. This powder also repels water, enabling it to fly and gather honey even in rain. Butterfree can use its sensitive antenna to detect odors of blooming flowers 6 miles or 10 kilometers from its nest in search of nectar, which it carries with the hairs of its legs. Sometimes it has territorial disputes with Cutiefly over fields of flowers. It also consumes sap from trees pierced by Heracross. Butterfree is found in temperate forests and jungles. Interesting. And they're migratory. Butterfree is pretty awesome. No. I said I wasn't gonna talk about power levels in the games. I don't know why there's 2 Butterfrees again. Alright. Is it giving me male and female version? Is that why? I think that's what it's doing. Interesting. Okay. Butterfree? I'm neutral towards Butterfree. It's not great, it's not bad. I do like it more than Ivysaur, though. Alright, Gigantamax Butterfree. What does this look like? Gigantamax Butterfree is pretty cool. I think Gigantamax Butterfree can go... Gigantamax Butterfree is a B. I like it. It's good stuff. What is there additional lore on it? Whoa! I didn't realize there was lore for the Gigantamax Pokemon. Gigantamax Butterfree scatters these scales by wind as it generates with each flap of its wings. These winds are powerful enough to lift a 10-ton truck. What the heck? I don't know. That seems crazy. Butterfree was amazing. It was one of the best episodes of Pokemon. Alright, Weedle. Let's see, the combination of red and yellow in its color scheme creates a bright warning to predators that it is poisonous. Weedle has a conical 2-inch or 5 centimeters venomous stinger on its head and a barbed one on its tail. The Weedle can retaliate against attackers and those who step on it with strong toxin. It can distinguish its favorite kinds of leaves using an acute sense of smell. As a young bug Pokemon, its daily appetite for leaves matches its weight. Alright. Weedle is a hilarious looking Pokemon. I'm neutral towards Weedle. I definitely always liked Caterpie more than Weedle. I put Weedle there. He's better than Venusaur for me. Alright. Kakuna. When it comes close to evolving, its body gives off heat that makes it warm to the touch. Kakuna remains virtually immobile and waits for evolution, often hanging from tree branches by long strands of silk. When attacked, It can extend its poisonous barbs. Oh, interesting. Huh. I didn't even know it had a stinger. Kakuna is only mildly better than Metapod, in my opinion. I kind of like his scale pattern. Alright. Beedrill. Beedrill is highly territorial and unlike real wasps and bees, Beedrills are not confirmed to live in true hives, as they work together to solve basic problems regarding food, territory, and reproduction without any confirmation of if there's a single breeding pair or a queen. Beedrill seems to be especially concerned with the welfare of Weedles and Kakunas, responding aggressively to those who disturb them. Disturbing one Beedrill will cause the whole group to attack. It flies at high speeds and attacks using the large venomous stingers on its forelegs and abdomen. It will then take the victims of its attack back to its nest for food. Alright. I think Beedrill's pretty cool. I like Beedrill more than Butterfree. Mainly because it's got these giant spiky hands. Mega Beedrill's really cool. I think it's better than Blastoise. I think Mega Beedrill's, like, kind of scary. I like it. Alright, Pidgey. Pidgey. Pidgey has an extremely sharp sense of direction and homing instinct. It can travel straight back to its nest regardless of how far away it might have flown. It is a docile Pokemon and prefers to flee from its enemies rather than fight them. Flapping its wing rapidly can whip up dust clouds and create whirlwinds to protect itself and flush out potential prey. Pidgey is common throughout its range and can often be seen in meadows and temperate forests. I don't know about it being docile. I don't know about Pidgeys being docile, man. They attacked the shit out of frickin' Ash and Pikachu in that very first episode. I don't think they're docile at all. Pidgey is not a win for me. I think it looks better than the Venusaur visually, but not a win for me as a Pokemon in general. Always thought they were kind of bland and annoying because you see them so much. Alright, Pidgeotto! Pidgeotto is a powerful flyer capable of carrying prey several miles to its nest. It has amazing vision, which helps it locate preferred prey. Pokemon such as Execute and Magikarp. It likes eggs. How does it eat Magikarps, though? Aren't Magikarps like steel? Pidgeotto claims a sprawling territory of more than 60 miles or 100 kilometers, which it defends fiercely. Its nest is usually the center of its territory, and it circles its territory throughout the day looking for food and intruders. Interesting. Pidgeot is awesome. Pidgeot is awesome. I would say I am neutral towards Pidgeotto. He's less than Ivysaur, but more than Weedle. Pidgeot is iconic. I love his long, flowy feathers on the top of his head. Alright, Pidgeot's powerful wings can stir up windstorms in just a few flaps, and it may spread its wings to intimidate enemies. This Pokemon is capable of flying faster than the speed of sound. Wow. Its plumage is often described as beautiful, making it a popular choice for skilled trainers. Interesting. Pidgeots are freaking huge. Pidgeots are 5 feet tall. That thing is almost as tall as me, and it's a bird. That's true, you can ride them. That makes sense. It's a bird with a mullet. I love Pidgeot. Uh, I love Pidgeot. Is he better than Charmander? No. Is he better than Charmeleon? Yes. Mega Pidgeot's pretty dope. I think he's better than regular Pidgeot. He's more colorful. What's so special about Mega Pidgeot? Increased wing power allows it to fly for 2 weeks without rest. That's freaking nuts. Pokemon are crazy. Alright. Here we go. We've got Rattata. Rattata can live wherever it can find food, which it searches for most of the day. Thanks to its sharp fangs, it's able to chew on nearly anything. When it is threatened, Rattata can deliver a powerful bite. Rattata consistently keep their ears up and will immediately scurry away from the slightest sound. Ferret is the natural predator of Rattata. Really? Another rodent eats Rattata? I guess that makes sense. But like ferret is a ferret, and ferrets usually eat bugs. Its hardiness lets it live in many environments, although it mainly lives on plains and savannas because it's reduced so quickly. A pair of Rattata can quickly colonize an area. Alright. Rattata is, for me, yeah, it is giving me male and female forms because the whiskers are different in these two. I don't like Rattata. I like him a little bit more than Pidgey, but not by much. I do like the Alolan Rattata, though. I am a little neutral towards him. I would say he's better than Weedle. I just like that it's, like, more spiky and has a mustache. The mustache is great. But it's still a very bland Pokemon overall. Raticate. I'm gonna tell you right now that Raticate is in my hate list. I don't like Raticate at all. I think Raticate is, like, kind of creepy. And annoying as shit. Annoying as shit in the games. Wait. What just happened? If attacked, Raticate stands up on its hind legs, bares its fangs, and shrieks in an intimidating manner at its enemies. It is willing to take on larger foes if provoked enough. Its teeth are strong enough to gnaw through steel. That is incredibly crazy. Why are Pokemon able to destroy steel? What is steel made of? Butter? And their constant growth means it often needs to gnaw on something, like rocks and logs. It may even chew on the walls of houses and is capable of chewing through cinder blocks and toppling concrete buildings. Okay. Regular rats are crazy annoying to begin with. You're now talking about a rat that is 2 feet tall and chewing on your house. That thing could probably demolish your house in, like, oh, I don't know, a couple hours. That's terrifying. It takes regular, normal earth rats a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Is it my house's fault if my house is made of steel and a Raticate can chew through steel? Excuse me? How is that my house's fault? What do you want it to be made of? Alright, I don't like Raticates. The Alolan Raticate I also don't like. And you can't convince me that I will like it. It is better than regular Raticate only because it's got chubby cheeks. I'm just saying, like, if a regular person in the Pokemon world who has a house made of steel has to be worried that a Raticate might chew through the frickin' walls. That's a concern if I was living in the Pokemon world. No house is safe for Raticate. Okay. Spearow. I freaking hate Spearow. Although inept at other aspects of its... wait. Although inept at other aspects of its flying, such as height and distance, Spearow is still capable of flying quickly to protect its territory. However, it must flap its wings at high speeds to stay aloft. It sounds like a really inefficient bird. Spearow's loud shrieks can be heard over half a mile away, 1 kilometer, and are used to warn others of its kind of danger. Oh, it's the Spearows in the first episode of Pokemon, not the Pidgeys. Okay, well, Pidgeys are still assholes in the game. Alright, Spearows do suck. I'm gonna put Spearow in the F column. I think he's objectively bad. I agree. I don't like Spearow. Oh, what was that? I heard something. I heard something. What was that? Oh, thank you, Kill Count. Thank you for another tip of $5. I appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow on your big day. Talk to me about it the next time you come by. Alright, alright. I lost my Pokedex in my millions of tabs. Okay, alright. Let's get to Fearow. Fearow. I hate Fearow. I think Fearow is a ugly Pokemon. Worse than Spearow. I think they're both ugly Pokemon. That's true. A regular person in the Pokemon world will have a fucking turtle cannon that can destroy buildings. Yeah, Spearow sucks and Fearow sucks. I hate both of them. They are terrible. Alright. Fearow has been around mostly unchanged for many years as a Pokemon resembling it has been seen on ancient murals. Its large wings and stamina allow for it to fly for an entire day without landing. Its long neck and beak allow it to pluck prey from both land and water, and has even been known to steal from unwary humans. It will shoot upward and then dive down to catch prey. It will also catch tiny insects that hide underground and circle the ocean for fish. I don't like Fearow. I think Fearow is an ugly-ass Pokemon, and it's screechy and angry. Not a fan. Ekans! Alright, Ekans. Ekans is a purple serpentine Pokemon. Lives in grassy savannas and plains. Moves stealthily through the grass. It can also be found in forests and desolate wastelands. Oh my. Where it preys on eggs from Pidgey and Spearow's nests and will strike other prey from behind. By flicking its tongue out, it can detect danger and the scent of prey. Its jaw can detach to swallow large prey, but such a meal can make Ekans too heavy to move or become stuck and cause them to faint. What? Ekans, this is Ekans. It wraps itself around tree branches at night to rest. If not in a tree, it will coil itself up and position where it can defend itself from all directions. Ekans can swim? Alright. Ekans is kind of based. I don't hate it, but it's a very simple Pokemon. But I like its colors. I like its colors. Alright, Arbok. I actually like Arbok a lot. I would say Arbok can go here. Arbok is an F. Why would you put Arbok as an F? Leave him alone. Arbok is capable of crushing opponents by coiling his body around them and squeezing them tightly. It can even flatten steel oil drums. If it encounters an enemy, it raises its head, mimics, and stuns the opponent using frightening patterns on its body. It can also make eerie sounds by expelling air from its mouth. It has been stated that if part of an Arbok's body, except for the head, is cut off, it can regrow the rest of its body again in a few weeks. I did not know that they have that trait. That's kind of nuts. It can detect vibrations. Okay. Arbok can spend long periods underwater and survive in aquatic environments. Interesting. It's very territorial, has deadly venom. It's vengeful in nature, will not give up a chase once it targets its prey or an opponent, no matter how far. Okay. It hunts smaller Pokemon such as Whoopers, Pidgeys, and Spearows. Huh. It's a fucking Cobra, at least in the manga it got cut in half. It's like Worm, even worse. No! I think aesthetically Arbok is really cool. Alright. Everybody knows that Pikachu is the number one. Pikachu is number one. Pikachu is number one. Pikachu... Alright, maybe not number one, but Pikachu is definitely S tier, for sure. Pikachu is S tier, excuse me. Alright. They live in groups in the forest. They communicate with squeaks and tail shakes. Electricity can be used to receive and send messages with each other, as well as with other electric-type Pokemon. It raises its tail to check if its surrounding is occasionally struck by lightning in this position. That's really funny, what the heck? When groups grow, they can inadvertently cause lightning storms. Pikachu forages for berries, which it roasts with electricity to make them tender enough to eat. A sure sign that Pikachu inhabits a location is patches of burnt grass. I feel like that's a sure sign of any fire-type Pokemon too, though. No? Pikachu charges itself while sleeping overnight. Though stress and lack of sleep can affect this, it can release electric charges of varying intensities. Interesting. I think I would prefer thunderstorms than having a rat literally eat through the walls of my house. You know what? Think about it like this, Alfonso. If you have a house, you don't have to worry about the thunderstorms because you're safe in your house. But if the rat eats your house, then you don't have a house. Alright, Raichu. Raichu. Raichu's tail is used to gather electricity from the atmosphere, or it can be planted in the ground in search for electricity. It also protects Raichu from its high voltage power. Raichu can store over 100,000 volts of electricity, enough to knock out a Caparaja. If Raichu's sacs are fully charged, its ears will stand up straight. Interesting, I didn't know that. And its muscles will become stimulated, however, it will become aggressive if it has stored too much electricity and stress. To prevent it from reaching this state, it discharges electricity through its tail into the ground. This leads to scorch patches near its nest. Being the result of evolution via an evolution stone, Raichu is rarely found in the wild, though they can be found in forests and woodlands. Interesting. It's funny that, like, it says here that Raichu is known to sleep while discharging electricity, while Pikachu sleeps to recharge its energy. No, it can't evolve naturally. That's why they're not found in the wild very much. They're only found with trainers, because the Raichu has to willingly pick up a Thunderstone. Alright, Raichu, aesthetically, I love Raichu. I will also put Raichu pretty high up. Yeah, Raichu is S tier for sure. Raichu S tier for sure. I do not like Alolan Raichu. I'm kind of neutral towards it. I think it's like kind of weird looking. It is not. It's weird looking. I'm not a fan. I don't like... You know what it is? I don't like the brown. I don't like the brown. I think it would have been better if they made the Alolan Pikachu... the Alolan Raichu, like a mango orange. Like a pinkish orange. I don't know. The brown doesn't seem tropical to me. It makes him look weird. I'm not a fan. Like, when I think tropical, I think of pinks and oranges and yellows and greens and teal. And, like, bright colors, not brown. I don't think of brown when I think of tropical places. Oh my god. Shut up, Alfonso. Get out of here. Alright. Sandshrew. Sandshrew spends much of its time hidden underground in deep burrows. It only emerges to lunge and drag in passing bug-type Pokemon. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Sandshrew can quickly curl into a tight ball to protect itself from great falls and opponents, but may also throw sand at its attackers. While its body can efficiently absorb water to facilitate life in the desert, Sandshrew has been found in caves as well. It also lives deep underground in nests and is created from digging tunnels. Should hard rocks get in the way of digging, Sandshrew will use its sharp claws to remove them before continuing to dig. If it's too wet, its skin becomes wrinkly, and it dries itself out using the geothermal heat near the volcano. Okay. Sandshrew is really interesting. I can agree with that. I would say Sandshrew is a B. I like Sandshrew better than Caterpie, though, so I'm gonna put him there. The Sandshrew that Ash encounters in the first season of Pokemon is just... he's pretty iconic. Oh, Alolan Sandshrew. I like Alolan Sandshrew better than regular Sandshrew. Yeah. Alright. Sandslash! Sandslash's broken parts can be used to carve plows. Why are you breaking Sandslashes? Oh, okay. Its claws and spikes can both break off, but they grow back quickly and are shed regularly. Okay, there we go. Sandslash's broken parts can be used to carve plows for tilling farm fields. The claws can become harder and smoother if they live in a drier area. Sandslash can curl into a large ball, which allows it to roll to attack or escape, protecting itself from heat stroke and guarding its belly. Sandslash is also adept at climbing trees and is prone to... climbing trees?! Is prone to ambushing its enemies from above. It's a ground-type Pokemon! It also climbs trees to rest during the night and to slash berries to feed the Sandshrews waiting below. What? Why is it climbing trees? Oh, I didn't do Gigantamax Pikachu. Gigantamax Pikachu is a Chad. There. Alright. It is chubby as fuck, but I like regular svelte Pikachu. Alright, Sandslash climbing trees is kind of nuts. He goes to... before Bulbasaur. Ice Sandslash goes before him. I like the ice versions better. I think they suit Sandslash much more. No, I like Sandslash. I think he's super cute. I also like the way he says its name. It's so cute. Sandslash! I get a pass so far. That's because Sandslash and Sandshrew are one of your favorites. Don't lie to me. I know my brother. Oh my god. See, if Killcat was still here, he'd be agreeing with us. Don't even. It's just you that has weird taste, Alfonso. Everything to you is S or F. Alright. Nidoran. Nidoran female. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Alright. The poisons secreted by the spines and horns are extremely potent, and even scratch from its horns can drop poison from barbs can be deadly. However, this docile Pokemon only uses its poison when it feels threatened. Nidoran is more sensitive to smell than Nidoran Boy. It can use its whiskers to check the wind while searching for berries or avoid predators. It can use its incisor teeth to crush the berries it forages for. Yeah, I like Nidoran. I think Nidoran is like a cute hamster kind of Pokemon. I would say less than Sandshrew, but more than Caterpie. Vespertina F. Oh my god. Get out of here. Alright. Nidorina. Nidorina is a gentle Pokemon. Why does it look so angry then? And is known to be a caring mother that chews food for its young. It seems to display close family bonds with others and is kind and becomes nervous when separated. Nidorina prefers not to fight since its horn grows slowly, but if forced or enraged, it prefers physical attacks such as clawing and biting. Nidorina prefers to chew its food into a paste before spitting it out and feeding its children. It also emits ultrasonic cries to befuddle foes. Interesting. I didn't know that Nidorinas could be mothers. If I'm being honest, I thought only the Nidoqueen could be a mom. Could have eggs. So that's interesting. Nidorina. Where do I put that? Where do I put that? I like Nidorina less than Nidoran. I think Nidoran's really cute. The concept of Nidorina is really cool, though. I still would put it in B, in the B category. Alright, Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen can be quite fierce and is very protective of its young. This Pokemon is at its strongest when it's defending its young and will try to seal the entrance to its burrow to protect them. It also places its young in the gaps between the spines on its back. That's kind of cool. Which never release poison when a child are present. Nidoqueen is more adept at being defensive than offensive. Nidoqueen's armor-like scales allow it to defend its children from any attack. When it contacts with foes, it can poison them with the spikes on its back or cause small tremors by slamming the ground. It's adept at sending foes flying with harsh tackles, and it uses its hefty bulk to execute powerful attacks. Interesting. I guess it makes sense. It makes sense that Nidoqueen, Nidorina can have babies because they evolve with moonstones. So there are probably not a lot of Nidoqueens out there, naturally. I always forget that they evolve with moonstones. So, Nidoqueen is definitely an A for me. I like Nidoqueen a lot. I always just like how the Nidoqueens are depicted in the show as well. Like, they're always depicted in such loving and nice environments. Alright, Nidoran Boy. Nidoran constantly listens for sounds of approaching enemies with its large ears. Said ears have unique muscles that allow them to be moved in any direction, and even the slightest sound does not escape Nidoran's notice. In order to listen to distant locations, it flaps its ears like wings? Wait, what? They've never shown this in the anime that I recall. It will risk its own life to protect Nidoran Girl. That's so cute. That's super cute, actually. I actually am gonna put it right above the Nidoran girl because I think that's really adorable that it cares for the Nidoran girls. That's super adorable. Alright. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a fan of Nidorino. I think they're, like, really awkwardly shaped. Nidorino is independent, nervous, and fierce, often described as violent and easily angered. It uses its ears to check its surrounding. If it senses a hostile presence, all the barbs on its back bristle up at once, and it challenges the foe with all its might. Nidorino is harder than Diamond Horn, can destroy diamonds. What? And it uses that horn to destroy boulders in its search for moonstones. Interesting. A Pokemon that actively searches for moonstones? Like, it's actively searching for its to evolve. Like I said, not a fan of Nidorino. I still think it's better than Gigantamax Charizard. It's interesting that they actively search for moonstones. Like, I know a lot of Pokemon just kind of, like, live their life, but it sounds like they want to become Nidokings. Nidoking, however, I don't like Nidorino, but I love Nidoking. I've had, in the original game, I had a Nidoking, and I loved Nidoking as a Pokemon. Like, not just because he's strong, he actually looks just so insane. Alright. It is said that the Nidoking tail can topple a metal transmission tower. Nidoking uses this tail to smash, constrict, or break the bones of its prey and enemies. The tail can be swung to create distance between it and foes before Nidoking charges. Its steel-like hide adds to its powerful rampaging charges. Nidoking's horn is powerful enough to crush diamonds. Okay, that makes sense. If Nidorino could do it, then why can't Nidoking? Nidoking is known to be very proud of its own strength. When Nidoking goes on a rampage, it becomes impossible to control. Only a Nidoking that has lived with for a long time can calm it down from its rampages, as shown in the 21st chapter of the Pokemon Adventures. That's so freaking funny. I like Nidoking more than Nidoking, but I also like Nidoking. I would put him at a B. I think I like him more than Gigantamax Butterfree. The only reason I had a Nidoking and not a Nidoqueen is because I thought Nidoqueen as a child was weaker than Nidoking in the game. But I don't know if that's necessarily true. Alright. Clefairy! Clefairy is very shy and rarely shows itself to humans. On the rare occasion that Clefairy comes down from its mountain home, it can be seen dancing underneath the full moonlight. The area surrounding their dance is enveloped in magnetic field. Once the sun rises, it returns home, where it sleeps nestled with other Clefairy. There have been many sightings of Clefairy during the morning aftermath of a full moon. Clefairy is depicted as an extraterrestrial Pokemon. It's known to be popular thanks to both its adorable looks and behavior. I agree. You hate Clefairies? I spent so long looking for Clefairies when I was playing Pokemon Yellow. Oh my god, you have no idea. I love Clefairy. I actually think Clefairy is an insanely cute Pokemon. You only search for them to fate them. That's terrible. I also really love Metronome. I think it's such an interesting skill. And Clefairy was the OG to have Metronome. I actually love how they look aesthetically. I think they're so cute. And I like that they're like moon worshippers. I think that's such an interesting trait of the Pokemon. So I actually put that on one of my favorites. It's an S tier for me. Clefable isn't, but Clefairy is. Alright. Clefable. Clefable is a timid, nocturnal creature that flees when it senses people approaching and is one of the world's rarest Pokemon. Oh, interesting. Probably because Clefairies are already evasive. So Clefable, once it finds a moonstone, probably even more evasive. Its sensitive ears can directly hear a pin drop from half a mile. Wow. Because of its acute hearing, it prefers to live in quiet mountainous areas of which it is protective. It has also been seen in deserted lakes during the full moon. Using a bouncing gait, it can walk on water. It can walk on water? And sometimes appears to be flying using its small wings. It's depicted as an extraterrestrial Pokemon. According to one tradition, seeing a pair of Clefable ensures happy marriage. Oh, that's cute! Some scientists believe Clefable stare intently at the moon because it's homesick. There is also a legend to this which tells of how it listens for its voices of its kind on the moon during clear and quiet nights. That's really interesting. They're Eldritch Horrors? I think I would put Clefairy at a B. It's not one of my favorite Pokemon, but the lore for this Pokemon, like visually I would put it at a C, but the lore for this Pokemon is so interesting that I would say I would put it as a solid B. The lore for it's really interesting. I didn't know that they could walk on water. And I didn't know it had ultrasonic hearing. That's really cool. Alright, Vulpix. Vulpix! I'm gonna tell you right now, Vulpix is an S. Vulpix is an S. And it goes above Clefable. I mean Clefairy. Vulpix is an S. You're terrible. It is not an F. Vulpix is an S. 100% S. Vulpix can manipulate fire to such precision as it creates floating wisps of flame. These wisps are sometimes mistaken for ghosts by humans, but Vulpix can use them to assist in catching prey. Oh, that's actually really cool. Inside its body is a flame that never goes out. When the temperature outside increases, it will expel flames from its mouth to prevent its body from overheating. Interesting. Vulpix performs this even when sleeping, as mentioned in the sleep style decks. Okay, we don't care about that. Vulpix is known for feigning injury to escape from opponents too powerful to defeat. Interesting. That's cool. Do not throw them in the water to cool down, but they could probably swim better than a Charmander can. Okay. So Alolan Vulpix is believed to have arrived in the region the same time as humans, but moved to the snowy capped mountains to avoid other Pokemon. It can be found in small packs called skulks that are led and protected by Ninetales. It can expel breath as cold as minus 50 degrees Celsius or minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit, which is capable of freezing anything. While it's not suited for warm environments, its tail can produce ice to lower the surrounding temperature if needed. Interesting. Weavile is a natural predator of Alolan Vulpix. Wait, you're telling me the Weasel Pokemon eats the Fox Pokemon? Something doesn't make sense here. Alright, I love the ice versions of Pokemon, if I'm being honest. But OG Vulpix is just so awesome. But they are both S tiers for me. I think they're so cute. I think they're just so simply designed and so cute. Ninetales. Ninetales. A legend claims that Ninetales is the reincarnation of nine united noble saints. Whoa. While intelligent enough to easily understand human speech, Ninetales is a vengeful Pokemon known to curse those who mistreat it. Ninetales will also curse anyone who wakes it up by grabbing one of its many tails. That's funny. The curse can last up to 1,000 years! As mentioned in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, once a Ninetale casts its curse, it cannot be removed even by the Ninetales itself. It can live for 1,000 years due to its energy within its 9 tails, each of which is said to have a different mystical power. Flames spew from its mouth, can hypnotize an opponent, and its gleaming red eyes are said to give the ability to control minds. As mentioned in the sleep style decks, it wraps itself inside its tails. It is shown that it can swim. Interesting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are you giving Ninetales an F? You're terrible. We're not talking about how strong they are. We're just talking about their lore. Ninetales is an A for me. You can shove it. Ninetales is an A for me. It's a pretty Pokemon. They are vengeful, which is kind of interesting. The fact that they can live for 1,000 years is kind of nuts if that's really true. Because, like, that means they probably end up having either no owners or a lot of owners. No, they're aesthetically cool. I don't like the Alolan one for the Ice Storm. I don't like the fact that it's, like, scrunkly and curly. I'm kind of neutral towards it. Cute is a criteria here. We're talking about aesthetics, Alfonso. Alright. Jigglypuff! Jigglypuff can use its eyes to mesmerize opponents. It has a large lung capacity, exceeding most other Pokemon. Once it has an opponent's attention, Jigglypuff will inflate its lungs and begin to sing a soothing, mysterious lullaby. This melody can cause anyone who listens to become sleepy. If the opponent resists falling asleep, Jigglypuff will endanger its own life by continuing to sing until it runs out of air. It will continue to sing until the opponent is asleep. That's ridiculous. It can adjust the wavelengths of its own voice to match the brain waves of someone in deep sleep. Ooh, interesting. This helps ensure drowsiness in its opponents. Its vocal range exceeds 12 octaves, but its skills depends on the individual. Its songs vary by region, and in some areas, it sounds like shouting. Oh, that's really cool. Jigglypuff can mostly be found in lush green plains and grassy meadows. Okay. Jigglypuff is an S purely because it's like such a ridiculous creature. I know, he's gonna kill himself if you have sound-canceling headphones. It's funny as heck. Jigglypuff is just like, also just like a very rich character in terms of lore. Alright. Wigglytuff! Wait, the Jigglypuff in the anime was a oh, that's right, because the Jigglypuffs, their shiny form is so close to the original, it's just paler, right? I didn't know that it was a shiny, though. That's really cool. And they have green eyes, don't they? Instead of the blue? Doesn't show the shinies in the Bulbapedia. Okay, Wigglytuff. Its body is soft and rubbery, allowing it to inflate by inhaling. Wigglytuff can inflate itself up to 20 times larger, though it has no limit to how far it can inflate in total. That doesn't make any sense. While it is inflated, it can move and bounce, or by bouncing or floating, it competes with other Wigglytuffs to see which one can inflate itself the most. That's really funny, actually. Should it be caught in a bad mood, Wigglytuff will inflate itself to an enormous size to scare away its opponent, being the result of an evolution via evolution so, and it's rarely found in the wild. Okay. Wigglytuff, where does Wigglytuff go? I like Wigglytuff more than Clefable. More than Charmeleon. Not more than Charmander. Probably right there. We're gonna put him right there. I like them. I like their curlicue. And I like the attitudes that Jigglypuffs and Wigglytuffs had. Alright. Zubat. Zubat is lives in abundance in dark caves, although it has also been known to dwell in forests and under eaves of old buildings. Due to its habitat, Zubat has evolved to have neither eyes nor nostrils. Wait, so it's a mouth breather. Alright, today I learned that Zubat is a mouth breather. It instead navigates through the dark environments and tight caves with echolocation, emitting ultrasonic cries to detect targets and obstacles. The frequency of these cries can vary slightly between Zubat colonies, as demonstrated in the Pokemon series. It will leave its abode at night with a mass of other Zubat in order to seek prey. Zubat is nocturnal and sleeps hanging upside down during the daytime, avoiding sunlight at all costs. Daylight causes Zubat to become unhealthy, and prolonged exposure can even burn its skin. Oh, interesting. However, captured and trained Zubats have been recorded as being much more tenacious in the daytime, even when directly exposed to sunbeams. What? That doesn't make any sense. That's such a cop-out. What? Zubat and me don't get along. I'm not a fan of Zubats. Sorry, Alfonso. They get hurt by sunlight, but if they have a trainer, they're fine. That makes no sense. I'm gonna put Zubats under the dislike. I find Zubats really annoying. And I don't like how they look. And here's the take that you're gonna like even more. Golbat can shove it. Golbat is hate. Ultra hate. I like the rat more than a Golbat. Golbat's fangs have hollow tubes similar to straws, specializing for sucking blood. Oh my god, okay. While they are strong enough to pierce thick hide, they also are unexpectedly fragile. There are some Golbats that have missing fangs as a result of their hunger-fueled attempts to try and drink blood from Steel-type Pokemon. Golbat feeds on the blood of both Pokemon and humans and is capable of drinking over 10 ounces, 300 milliliters, of blood in one sitting. It is gluttonous and drinks so much blood that its blood type will change to that of its victim following a feeding. That doesn't make scientific sense at all, but okay. It occasionally gorges itself to the extent that it becomes too heavy to fly and leaves itself vulnerable in turn. However, it is also willing to share gathered blood with other members of its kind that are hungry. Kind of gross that you're spitting up blood. That's not even your blood, but okay. Alright, I'm gonna put Golbat here, mainly because his lore was actually really funny and interesting. So, he goes above the Rattata. Still a terrible Pokemon. I still hate them. Alright, Oddish. Oddish. Alright, I'm gonna move these guys down. The extras. What the heck? What is it doing? I just want to get them out of the way. Because these are the different gendered versions. I don't want to look at them. Oh wait, I'm up to Oddish right now. I'm going too slow. I need to speed it up. I might not get through even Gen 2 at this rate. I know, I've already been streaming for an hour and a half and there's so many more. I mean, I can stream for a long time today, but still. Alright, Oddish. Weed Pokemon. We're only up to 43. Oh yeah, we're gonna go faster. A nocturnal Pokemon, Oddish buries its sensitive body in the ground during the day and avoids sunlight to fool predators. If its leaves are pulled in this state, it will spawn by shrieking horribly! It starts to move when its leaf begins to absorb moonlight, which it uses to grow. Oddish will wander up to 1,000 feet, 300 meters during the night to scatter its seeds and find nutrient-rich pouch of soil which to plant itself. The more fertile the earth, the glossier its leaves will be. It is thought that its feet become like tree roots while planted. Interesting. Oddish is kind of cute. I like Oddish. It's pretty basic though. I think it's like here. I think it's like here. It's cute and simple. It does look kickable, you're right. Alright, Gloom. Gloom trickles sticky nectar from its mouth with the appearance of consistency of drool. This can be used as fertilizer for plants. Interesting. Both this nectar and the flower on Gloom's head release a foul odor strong enough to induce fainting in humans over a mile, 1.6 kilometers away. However, it can also attract prey, and even a very small number of humans find it pleasing. This odor is a key ingredient for some perfume production. When it is in danger, the odor worsens and it will not emit odors if it feels safe. Interesting. Okay. That's pretty interesting. But it's ugly as heck, you're right. I'm not a fan of Gloom at all. Gloom... Gloom is on my dislike list. It's better than Pidgey and Rattata, but it's still not that great. It's not an F. It's not an F. I like Gloom objectively more than these Pokemon. Vileplume. Vileplume can shake, flap, or burst its petals into blooms with a bang in order to release clouds of pollen. This pollen is yellow and highly allergenic to humans. Interesting. And toxic to other Pokemon. Vileplume uses it to paralyze its prey before devouring it. What does Vileplume eat? Because that's terrifying. The larger the Vileplume's petals are, the more potent the toxins in its pollen. Vileplume's behavior of flapping its petals make a very loud noise. What does Vileplume eat? What does it eat? It's a flower. I get it's supposed to be probably kids. Oh my god. Alright. Terrifying. Quite terrifying. I like Vileplume, but not as much as Oddish. I really want to know what it eats. Like, that's actually kind of horrifying. That it paralyzes its prey, but what is its prey? Because typically bugs eat plants. So it wouldn't be eating like Caterpies, or would it? You think it'd eat bugs? Yeah, it's supposed to be like somewhat similar to Bellsprout, I guess. Or Victor Bell. Maybe. Alright, Paris. Red and yellow mushrooms known as Tochukasu grow on this Pokemon's back. The mushrooms can be removed at any time and grow from spores that are doused on the Pokemon's back at birth by the mushroom on its mother's back. Tochukasu are parasitic in nature, drawing their nutrients from their host Paris's body. Aw, that's terrible! In order to grow and exert some command over the Pokemon's actions. Whoa! For example, Paris drains nutrients from tree roots due to commands from the mushrooms. The mushrooms are also popular among collectors and have medicinal use. Usually involve extended life. Prior to the Gen 3, Spore was its signature move. That's kind of terrifying. That's really sad. Paris is really cute. Paris is kind of is cute. I like Paris a lot. And I now feel bad for Paris because of these demonic mushrooms. Alright, Parasect. The insect has been drained of nutrients and is now under the control of the fully grown Tochukasu. Removing the mushroom will cause Parasect to stop moving. It can thrive in dark forests and with sustainable amount of humidity for growing fungi. Swarms of this Pokemon have been known to infest trees. The swarms will drain the trees of nutrients until it dies, and then will move on to a new tree. Wow! I don't like Parasect, aesthetically, but its lore is kind of interesting. Alright, Venonat. Venonat can be found in dense temperate forests where it sleeps in holes of trees until nightfall. It sleeps through the day because the small insects it feeds on appear only at night. Both Venonat and its prey are attracted to bright lights. Alright, pretty basic description. Venonat is an S? Venonat is a C for me. He's basic. Put him like there. It is fluffy, you're right. But he also reminds me of a freaking, a caveman. I don't know why. Just because he's, like, unruly fuzzy and he has giant fangs. Venomoth. Venomoth's wings are covered in dust-like scales that vary in color depending on their toxic capability. Dark scales are poisonous, while lighter scales can cause paralysis. These scales are released when Venomoth flutters its wings and leak out poison once they make contact with the skin. Venomoth lives in dense, temperate forests with thick undergrowth and little light. As a nocturnal Pokemon, Venomoth comes out at night to hunt for its favorite prey. It prefers to feed on insects that gather around light sources. And Venomoth is attracted to bright lights itself. It has a short lifespan. I'm not a fan of Venomoth either. Venomoth can go in my dislike list. I do like it more than Parasect, though. Diglett. Diglets live in tunnels and caves under the earth where it feeds on tree roots and vegetables. It is known to live in burrows left behind by onyx. It also sometimes lives in burrows near forests and has even been shown to live inside of trees. Diglets dig regularly through the earth at a shallow depth, leaving perfectly tilled soil in its wake. Some farmers welcome Diglett because of its tills their fields, and its droppings enrich the soil, but others consider it a pest for eating their vegetables. Diglets are funny. Diglets are funny. I like them more than Weedles, but they are silly. Alright, a lowland Diglett. So, it really just has whiskers on its head. Not impressed. I still just like the generic dildo, because you said that. Diglett. Alright. Dugtrio. Dugtrio's three heads think the same thoughts and act cooperatively, though on rare occasions they may fight over which head gets to eat first. In order to make burrowing easier, each head will bobble up and down to loosen the soil. Dugtrio can tunnel under earth at 60 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour to a depth of 60 miles or 100 kilometers, triggering tremors and earthquake. It is capable of burrowing endlessly. Dugtrio lives in a tunnel and cave under earth, and Dugtrio is considered important for agriculture as its digging aerates the soil and makes it suitable for farming. Dugtrios sometimes live in hollow trees and forests and maintains the soil and plants trees to revitalize wooded areas. Interesting. That's actually kind of cool. I'll put Dugtrio there. Okay, Dugtrio with the hair is ridiculous. But I like it more than these Pokemon. It's just so absurd. The hair is absurd. The hair is absurd. Meowth! Alright, let's read Meowth. Meowth is attracted to round and shiny objects and has the unique ability to produce coins using its signature move, Payday. Meowth and its evolved form are the only known Pokemon capable of learning this move, Payday, by leveling up. Being nocturnal, it is known to wander about city streets at night and pick up anything that sparkles, including loose change. Upon finding sparkling objects, its eyes will glitter and the coin on its forehead will shine brightly. It shares this intrigue with Murkrow, with whom it often fights with for objects and prey. Meowth is playful but fickle Pokemon that is with the capacity for human-like intelligence. Okay. Yeah, we know that. I like Meowth as a Pokemon. Let's put him in B tier. More than Caterpie, less than Nidoran. Actually, more than Nidoran. Less than Sandshrew? No. I like Meowth. Meowth is cool. Gigantamax Meowth is terrifying, and I don't like it. Alolan Meowth is a dark type. Interesting. Okay, so Meowth was introduced to Alola as a gift to royalty. The luxurious royal lifestyle soon led Meowth to diverge from its origins and become the selfish, prideful, and cunning Alolan Meowth. Alolan Meowth will turn hysterical if its coin or pride are besmirched. When the monarchy fell, the rare Alolan Meowth went feral and eventually grew as a common Alolan as anywhere else. That's so interesting. I like the lore behind it, but it's not as good as the regular Meowth. Galarian Meowth is so funny. This one also looks like a freaking caveman. It is basically just a savage, and I think that's hilarious. Alright, Persian. I like Persian as a Pokemon. Persian's pretty cool. Persian normally live in towns and cities. Although popular for its elegance, it is extremely difficult to raise as a pet due to its fickle and temperamental personality. It will scratch anyone, including its trainer, with literal no provocation, has been observed ripping its prey apart for no discernible reason. However, when Persians is yanked by the whiskers, it becomes temporarily docile for unknown reasons. What? That is such a weird quirk. It is popular amongst rich people and is targeted by hunters for its jewel. Its relationship with Berserker is one of mutual disdain, as Persian's refined and elegant personality clashes with Berserker's barbaric nature. Okay. Original Persian is actually awesome. I like Original Persian. I'm gonna put him slightly above Meowth. I think he's really cool. Alolan Persian is disgusting. Yeah, I don't like it. It's ugly as heck. I would actually agree with you, and it goes in the F department. Actually, it goes at the bottom. It goes below Spearow, but above Fearow. It's ugly as heck. I don't like it. Psyduck! Psyduck is constantly stunned by its headaches and is unable to think very clearly. It usually stands immobile, trying to calm its headache. However, when its headache becomes too severe, Psyduck releases tension in the form of strong psychic powers. The use of these powers produces brain waves identical to those seen in sleepers. And the Pokemon is unable to recall these episodes. Psyducks live in freshwater lakes and small ponds. Alright. Psyduck is hilarious as a Pokemon. It's very silly, but it's not one of my favorites. I would put it above Oddish. Put him above Oddish. Golduck is a fast swimmer capable of outswimming even the most athletic of human beings because its webbed appendages. Even rough seas do not hamper this Pokemon's swimming abilities. It will sometimes rescue people from shipwrecks. That's kind of cool. The gem on its forehead glows when it uses its psychic powers and occasionally when it swims at full speed. In the past, this Pokemon was overhunted due to the belief that the gem granted people supernatural powers. Wow, people are jerks. Golduck has the ability to give knowledge to its trainer and fellow Pokemon through telepathy. Golduck can typically be seen swimming in lakes where it hunts fish. Huh. That's kind of cool. I don't like Golduck aesthetically, but its lore is kind of interesting, so I'm kind of gonna put him at the bottom of the neutral list. Yeah, well, I don't even know if that's trainer. That's just a poacher, in my opinion. Alright, Mankey. Mankey specializes in physical fighting and is very aggressive and short-tempered. When angry, it begins shaking and its breathing turns rough. Its rage peaks quickly, and preventing its victims from being able to flee, it will rampage until it falls asleep. But its anger remains in its dreams. That's terrible. This causes it to wake up and become more furious all over again. However, this constant release of stress grants it a long life. What? Mankey can be found in the mountains where it lives in treetop colonies. If one becomes enraged, the whole colony rampages for no reason. If it loses sight... That just sounds like a terrible existence. That just sounds awful. I don't like that. I'm gonna put Mankey on the dislike. That just seems so annoying. Primeape. Primeape was also one of the Pokemon that I had on my team quite frequently. Primeape is easily angered, even the slightest glance of eye contact will make it furious. When it becomes enraged, its blood circulation is boosted, it makes its muscles stronger, but at the cost of some of its intelligence. Primeapes also possess the ability to convert its anger into energy to attack its opponents with. It has sturdy vessels in its brain that keep it healthy despite its constant anger. It will chase anyone who upsets it and will not stop until it's caught up to its target. Even if it's awoken from its sleep, it will groggily chase whatever woke it. Some researchers have theories that Primeape is angry even when inside a Pokeball. In some cases, Primeape has been known to die as a result of its rage, though it is also said to look peaceful in death, potentially due to its rage transcending and leaving its physical form to become something new. That is so insane. I like Primeape more than Mankey, but I could also see why, let's see, we like it more than Golduck, we like it more than Diglett. I'm gonna put it above Diglett. Muscles at the cost of intelligence, exactly. Growlithe. Growlithe is amazing! Growlithe is a friendly and loyal Pokemon that will fearlessly defend its trainer and territories from harm, even against larger, stronger enemies. In particular, it has been known to fight with Rockruff over territory. It will fiercely bark at, bite, and chase away any perceived threat. Otherwise, this obedient Pokemon will wait motionlessly until given an order. It has a long history with people, and its bones have been found in the Stone Age. Oh, bones have been found in Stone Age ruins. It has got a very strong sense of smell. I love Growlithe. Growlithe is a great Pokemon. Growlithe is an S tier for sure. Growlithe is S tier for sure. Alright. Hisuian Growlithe. Its form is the result of being exposed to volcanic activity within the coastal highlands it lives during Hisuian's early times. Allows it to survive cold weather. I don't like how it looks though. I think it looks dumb. Not a fan. Well, dumb compared to the original. I still think it's cool. Just not as cool as the original. I think it looks cool, but the original OG Growlithe is S tier for sure. I don't like the dumb horn on its head. I think the horn is weird. Arcanine. We might only get through, like, Gen 1 and 2. And then I'll change the thumbnail. Arcanine is an S tier, without me even reading its bio. Arcanine is a fierce, brave, and loyal Pokemon. It's capable of running 6,200 miles in 24 hours with a speed and grace reminiscent of flight. Wow. Arcanine has long been admired for its beauty and speed, and anyone who hears its bark will grovel before it. It doesn't have anything else. Arcanine... Wait. Arcanine, when it sleeps, is said to be similar to an innocent child sleeps. That's an interesting anecdote. Arcanine is 100% an S tier Pokemon, and it is better than Growlithe. It is better than Raichu. I'm not a huge fan of the Hissin one compared to the original, but it is cooler than the other one, I would say, than the Growlithe form. I like that it's kind of cloudy, like smoke. I don't know. I don't know how humans are still alive in the Pokemon world. Poliwag! Poliwag is next. Poliwag has newly developed legs and are poor at walking and no arms. It has long, thin tail surrounded by a light blue, semi-transparent fin. Its tail makes for a powerful swimmer. It loves to waddle on land despite the dangers. However, it will quickly return back to the water should it see danger. It cannot walk on land well unless trained every day. That's kind of funny! Poliwag is cute. Poliwag is cute. I would say I'm neutral toward Poliwag. I'm neutral towards Poliwag. He's alright. He's not the best, not the worst. Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl. Even though Poliwhirl is capable of moving on land, it prefers to stay in freshwater ponds and lakes where it has fewer natural enemies. It feeds on both bug and fish Pokemon. I don't know where its mouth is, but okay. It will return to consume them underwater in safety. Its swirl is used to make children fall asleep. That seems weird. Poliwhirl's sweat is filled with slimy mucus. When it captured by an enemy, it either slithers to escape or uses its swirl to put the enemy to sleep. What the heck? Where is a Poliwhirl's mouth? Can somebody tell me where its mouth is? Because I have no idea. How does it eat? The swirl is apparently not its mouth, though. Maybe he just sits on the food. He just shoves it up his nostrils, you know? He just snorts the food. I think Poliwhirl and Poliwrath go right next to Poliwag for me in ascending order. Oof, Alfonso, that's dark. Poliwrath's body is almost entirely muscle, and the muscles in his arm is like never tired. Also has 0% body fat. That seems really bad for when you're trying to stay warm in water. Usually blubber is a good thing. When it swims, it uses all of the muscles in its body and is able to swim vast distances with minimal breathing. Okay. It's even capable of briefly running on the water's surface. Are you Sonic the Hedgehog? It can also smash through ice and plow forward using its strong arms. That makes sense. Poliwrath is capable of outswimming even world-class swimmers. Poliwrath is also skilled at martial arts. Okay. We are multi-talented. It can launch powerful square punches capable of crushing boulders into dust. Many children learn how to swim by replicating Poliwrath's movements. It is one of the most gifted swimmers of all water-type Pokemon. Alright. Pretty cool. Alright. Kadabra! Sorry, Abra. Before we get to Kadabra. Abra. Abra can sense danger through telepathic radar. When it does, it teleports to a safe location. However, it sometimes becomes panicked if it wakes up in an unknown location. That sounds terrible. So it can be just sleeping and then, like, teleport somewhere and then just have a panic attack. By hypnotizing itself, Abra is able to teleport itself even while sleeping. It can use other extrasensory abilities while sleeping as well, and can even teleport into treetops to pick and eat berries. The deeper Abra sleeps, the farther it teleports. Wow, that's a weird correlation. Due to the strain of its telepathic powers, however, Abra sleeps 18 hours each day. If it fails to rest long enough, it will become unable to use its powers. Ooh, that's kind of scary. The contents in Abra's dream can affect its powers. Abra lives in urban areas and has been observed to teleport to different locations once per hour. That's frequent. If it teleports randomly, it can create illusionary copies. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay. Interesting. Aesthetically, a little odd. I like it more than Ekans. But pretty neutral overall. Alright, Kadabra. Kadabra emits alpha waves strong enough to induce headaches, and can even cause clocks to run backward. That's weird. Machines to malfunction, and delicate devices to cease functioning altogether. The waves increase further in strength the more danger Kadabra faces. Ooh. By closing its eyes, it can double the number of alpha particles it emits. When it has a headache, the alpha waves become unusual. All of the Kadabra's brain cells work in unison while it uses its powers. It sleeps while levitating, using its springy tail as like a pillow. Okay. It can store up physical energy inside its star and... Its star? Oh, the star on its forehead. And preparations for its evolution. There is a theory that Kadabra was born from a transformed human child who could not control his powers. That's kind of horrifying. I'm a little sad that Kadabra loses its tail when it evolves to Alakazam. I like Kadabra's fluffy tail. I like Kadabra. I'll put him in the like section. He goes above Caterpie. Alakazam. Alakazam is able to use all forms of psychic abilities, including telekinesis and blasts of offensive energy. The overflow of its psychic powers can cause headaches to those nearby. These powers are used to move its body as opposed to its weak muscles. It also uses its psychic powers to hold up its head. Wow! Which is too heavy to be supported by its neck. What? Due to its continuously growing brain, its head becomes larger with age. It is said to have an excellent memory and can remember everything that it has experienced since hatching as an Abra to the time of its death, and has an IQ that exceeds 5,000. What? What? That's way funnier than I thought it was gonna be. That's way funnier than I thought it was gonna be. So, essentially what you're telling me is if you have an Alakazam that lives to be like 100 years old, it's gonna have this massive bobblehead. Alright, alright. He goes into the like section for me above Kadabra. And then we have Mega Alakazam. Mega Alakazam is pretty dope. What is his specials? He's pure psychic. And can read the course of a person's entire life with a single glance. That sounds terrifying. But he can't tell you because he can't speak. Alright, you know what? He gets promoted to higher up. I kind of like him a lot, actually. Let's put him up here. Alright, Machop. Machop's entire body is covered with muscles that will never tire or cramp. With these muscles, it can lift many times its own body weight. It is even capable of hurling up to 100 adults. Why is it throwing people? It spends its time and energy working out and practicing all different forms of martial arts, striving to improve its abilities. One of these daily training routines involved lifting boulders and gravelers repeatedly as if they were barbells. It becomes more dedicated the more its muscles grow. Once it feels confident, it challenges Makuhita to a battle. That's really funny. It just likes to yeet people, apparently. I don't like how they look aesthetically. I'm not a fan. It goes in my dislike section. It goes in my dislike section. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of Machop or Machoke. I mean, Machamp. Blah, blah. Machop, Machoke, I'm not a fan of. Machamp is kind of cool. Machoke is a Pokemon of immense strength. Its muscles are hard as steel and is capable of lifting extremely heavy objects with one finger. Machoke's body is powerful enough to never get tired. Okay, that seems unlikely. Machoke is a popular Pokemon to use as a motif for sculptors. Okay. In spite of this, it is modest and often helps people with manual labor. The belt it wears regulates its strength, but Machoke removes it when facing a truly powerful opponent. I didn't even know they could take that off. It can be found in the mountains where it trains daily. I'm not a fan of Machokes. I think they were slightly better than the Machop, but not a fan of them generally speaking. Machamp! Machamps are said to know every martial arts style in the world. It punches extremely quick, throwing 500 punches a second. Wow! With only one hand, it can move a mountain. That seems unlikely. Because of its four arms, it can hit from a multitude of angles and pin all of its foes' limbs down at once. Its arms also allow it to attack and defend simultaneously. The four arms reach much faster than Machamp can think. Wow. It has poor dexterity and cannot handle delicate work without its arms becoming tangled. The belt it wears restricts its muscle activity, but can cause consequences if removed. Being the result of an evolution via trading, Machamp is rarely found in the wild. I know, it's ridiculous. I do like Machamp more. I'm neutral towards him, I would say. I like him more than Golduck, but less than Venusaur. I need to look at the Gigantamax one. Gigantamax one is kind of terrifying. I'm just gonna put him, like, here. Not a fan. Bellsprout. It will plant... Oh, it will plant its roots in the ground to replenish water, but is unable to flee when it is rooted. Bellsprouts prefer hot and humid places, thus live in temperate forests and jungles. Very flexible, and capable of swerving rapidly to avoid many attacks and moving with blinding speed to capture prey. That's pretty funny. It is definitely not an S. I disagree. Bellsprout is a neutral for me. I would put him around there. Weeping Bell camouflages itself as a plant in the forest, whilst awaiting unaware victims. When its prey draws near, it sprays poison powder to immobilize the target before melting it with its internal acids. It oozes a neutralizing fluid that prevents these internal acids from melting its own body. That's really funny. It will also slice its prey too large to consume into pieces with its razor-sharp leaves? What? It hangs from tree branches by its stem to sleep. If it moves around during sleep, it will slip and awaken and find itself on the ground. I'm gonna put these guys together because I know that I like them are about the same. Victory Bell. It can be found in small groups and is territorial. In the Victreebel hoards food, usually small birds and rodents, and collects leaf stones to perform evolution rituals at night to help Weepinbell become more Victreebels. That is really funny. Being the result of exposure to an evolution stone, it is rarely found in the wild. Okay. Yeah, not a fan of Victreebel. I don't like its screeching. It's not an S for me. Not at all. Tentacool! Tentacool's entire body is made from 99% water, and the remaining 1% contains the organs that produce its poison. It absorbs sunlight and refracts it using water inside its body to convert it into beams of energy. That's cool. Its tentacles are laced with stinging cells, and as seen in the Pokemon series, it can control Pokemon it touches with its tentacles. The tentacle breaks off occasionally, but they can regenerate. The poison from its tentacles is so potent that someone would need to be immediately rushed to the hospital. Tentacool is not a very strong swimmer and traveling throughout the world using ocean currents. It can blend into water and make it very difficult to spot. It will sometimes wash ashore and shrivel up due to dehydration, though it remains equally as dangerous. Tentacool may be revived if thrown back into the sea. Cool! I don't like tentacles. I would say I'm liking them more than Machokes, but not a big fan overall. But actually, they're a little bit higher, and the reason is because they have cool powers. Tentacruel. Tentacruel's primarily light blue body helps camouflage in the water. It has a total of 80 tentacles. What? That does not look like 80. Which can readily extend during hunts to ensnare its prey in a net-like shape before immobilizing it with poison. The tentacles can grow or shrink with ease. Its tentacles can absorb water to stretch even further. Most of these tentacles are hidden and kept short, leaving up to 14 exposed. Ah, that explains a lot. However, it tends to lose tentacles as it ages. While tentacles are rarely seen, they can gather in large groups which scare away any nearby fish Pokemon. Huh. I didn't say I like it. It's in my dislike list, but it's not an immediate hate. The fact that it has more arms than it actually is depicted with is kind of cool. Excuse me. Alright. Geodude is proud of its sturdy body and will bash against others of its kind in a contest of sorts to prove whose body is harder. It will even go as far as to compare itself with others, species such as Raggenrollas and Carbinks. You can't compare to a Carbink. It's freaking metal. Raggenrola maybe. The longer it lives, the more chipped and worn its body becomes. Long-lived Geodudes are completely smooth and round and have a calm demeanor. That's kind of cool. However, Geodude's heart remains rugged and tough no matter what. That is so ridiculous. It's often stepped on and will sometimes swing its arm in anger when this occurs. If that rock swung its arms at you when you stepped on it by accident, it could probably break your shins. Geodudes roll down hills in search of food. Geodude gets a higher ranking just because of how ridiculous it is. It's not an F. It's not a... I would say it's a high D. It's funny. And the fact that, like, if you think about it becoming like a polished, smooth orb with arms, apparently they eat. I don't know what they eat, though. Other rocks? Alright, Graveler. Graveler prefers locomotion is rolling, specifically because it's a slow walker. It often rolls down mountain paths at high speed, exceeding 60 miles per hour, crushing objects in the way and stopping by running into huge rocks should it build up too much speed. However, it will explode if it rolls into a river instead. Wow! Graveler is known to be generally free and uncaring, not minding if pieces of itself break off, as it can restore itself over time. Graveler climbs a mountain from base to summit, feasting on rocks all the while. Okay, so it does eat rocks. Graveler's favorite rock to eat is moss-covered rocks. It regularly consumes tons of moss-covered rocks and makes loud noises while eating. Upon reaching the peak, it rolls down to the bottom. Gravelers live in horizontal holes that they gouge out in sheer cliff faces. That's weird. And are capable of withstanding volcanic temperatures. Yeah, I don't like how Graveler looks. I think it's ugly. I think it's better than Spearow, though. Alolan Graveler is hideous, and so is Alolan Geodude. We don't like them at all. They're ugly. Absolutely ugly. Golem I like. I like Golem because it's round. Regular Golem. So regular Golem can go up here. Regular Golem can go up there. Golem can withdraw its head and limbs into its shell and roll at high speed. It's dangerous when doing this and it's unable to see and may crash into or run over anything in its path. Oh my. To prevent it from rolling into the homes of people downhill, grooves are dug into the sides of mountains to divert the rolling golem's course. It is seldom seen in the wild, however it can be found living in mountainous regions. Golems are known to detonate their own bodies. It uses this explosive force to jump from mountain to mountain. As mentioned in... Oh my god, that's crazy. I like golems aesthetically, though. I don't like Alolan Golem, though. He's actually gross. He's gross. Ponyta! Ponyta are relatively lightweight for their size, as they have extraordinary jumping abilities, are capable of leaping tall buildings in a single bound. However, a newborn Ponyta is a weak runner and is actually barely able to stand. It gradually strengthens its legs and becomes faster by chasing after its parents and jumping over grass that grows taller by the day. What? It is shown that Ponyta can control its flames so that its rider is not burning them. But Ponyta only does that for those it has accepted. Ponyta herds tend to live in grasslands, plains, and mountains, or anywhere that they can run freely. Yeah, Pokédexes are weird sometimes. I love Ponyta. Ponyta is one of my favorites. I would put it in a tier. Below Ninetales. Definitely A tier for me. Galarian Ponyta. It's a freaking fairy. Or psychic type, sorry, not fairy. But it looks like it should be a fairy. I like fire types. Water types are actually my favorite. But aesthetically, fire types are always really pretty. Galarian is definitely a S tier. I would put it right there. Right next to Growlithe. It's just so cute. It looks like cotton candy. Rapidash. Oh, the Galarian Rapidash is the fairy. That's why I thought I got confused. Alright. Rapidash is a very agile Pokemon. It runs about 150 miles per hour or 240 kilometers per hour, chasing everything that moves in hopes of racing it. That's funny. That's so cute. That's so pure. With incredible acceleration, it reaches its top speed in only 10 steps. Whoa! At full gallop, its hooves barely touch the ground. The faster Rapidash goes, the longer the swaying flames of its mane will become. At an all-out gallop, its blazing mane sparkles and features a feature that is said to enhance its beauty and appearance. Rapidash is capable of traveling an entire region, like Hisui, within a day and a half. Rapidash lives in grasslands, but also be seen on mountains. I don't know. I can't put Rapidash at C for that. The fact that it makes itself sparkle is kind of neat. I'm gonna put Rapidash at a B. It's not as good as Ponyta, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I would put it above Wigglytuff. Yeah, it's so cool. Galarian Rapidash is not an S tier. It is an A tier for me. I'm not a fan of unicorns in general. But Galarian unicorn friend is cool. Yeah, not as cute as the Ponyta. The Ponyta is an S. This is an A. Okay. Slowpoke! I don't think it's better. I don't think it's better. I think the Ponyta is just... the Ponyta is just unbelievably cute. Alright, Slowpoke. Slowpoke has a notoriously dim intellect and often forgets what it was doing. It takes a long time to respond to outside stimuli. Yeah, this is witnessable in the show. For example, it can take up to 5 seconds to process pain and can take an entire day to notice when its tail has been bitten. Slowpoke is commonly found on the water's edge. In some places, it is believed that Slowpoke yawn causes rain. This Pokemon is worshipped in those areas. That's interesting. Its vacant expression is said to help some people relax while causing irritation to others. It is... What is that word? I think they had a typo. Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna read that sentence. Oh my god. Shut up, Alfonso. Alright, Slowpoke. Slowpoke for me is a dislike. I think they're a little too derpy for me. Slowbro. Oh wait, there's the Galarian Slowpoke. What is different about it other than the fact that it has yellow on his head? Okay, apparently it's spicy if you eat its tail. What? I mean, it's about the same as a regular Slowpoke, probably worse. I don't like the yellow. Slowbro. Slowbro has lost the capability to feel pain due to the shelter's poison? What? While typically lazy and unintelligent, Slowbro apparently becomes inspired when the shelter bites down on its tail. While it is capable of unleashing powerful psychic attacks, Slowbro is typically rather peaceful and usually prefers not to fight. Because it can no longer fish using its tail, it instead swims to catch prey and allows Shelter to feed on its leftover scraps. Slowbro tends to live near ponds, lakes, and seashores, as mentioned in Pokemon Sleep. That's so stupid. It's so silly. I like it about the same as Slowpoke. The Galarian version has its hand bitten, which is kind of funny. The Mega Evolution is dumb. I don't like the Mega Evolution at all. We might actually only get through Gen 1 at this rate. We're only at 81. We're only a little bit over halfway. The Mega is so silly. Alright, Magnemite. The magnetic units on Magnemite's body generate an electromagnetic field that allow it to defy gravity and can potentially disrupt electrical equipment. The units generate stronger magnetic fields the faster they rotate. Oh, that's cool. Magnemite is not known to be unnecessarily aggressive, but they may approach trainers with little notice. If a wild Magnemite is approached, it may simply flee on rare occasions, as Magnemite does not care for interaction. However, if attacked, it will retaliate with non-damaging moves, so it's gonna paralyze you. In the care of a trainer can be a devoted fighter. Should it run out of electricity, Magnemite will fall to the ground. Usually, batteries can help recharge in order for Magnemite to start moving again. That's so silly. Magnemite is... It's a dislike for me, but not... I would put it at the top of the dislike list, because I think it's an interesting Pokemon, aesthetic. Magneton's anti-gravitational powers enable it to fly through the air. Being composed of 3 Magnemites, it's able about 3 times as powerful electrically, though not 3 times as intelligent. Even though Magneton is a mechanical creature, it still has the need to eat. Food for Magneton consists of electrical currents. Interesting. It's just a trio but electric. Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna put it right next to his buddy. Farfetch'd is top tier. Farfetch'd is top tier. Farfetch'd is an S Pokemon. He's just so interesting and unique. Farfetch'd is always seen carrying a leek stalk or spring onion. It carries the sprig in its wings, but sometimes chooses to hold it in its beak or feet instead. Unable to live without its stick, Farfetch'd will defend it with its life. Losing the stalk can leave Farfetch'd defenseless, and it will seek out a new one to replace it. Known uses for the stick includes using it as a weapon, nesting material, and emergency food source. When using the stalk to attack, Farfetch'd wields it like it was a sword cutting through things. It is selective about which stick it will use and has been known to fight over good ones. That's actually really funny. That's actually really funny. That's so funny, actually. I don't particularly like the Galarian version nearly as much. I would say he goes about there. Apparently it can cut things with their leek. That seems a little wild to me. Alright, Doduo. Literally everything in the Pokemon world can kill you. Everything's either poisonous and small, able to destroy steel or concrete, or able to just cut you down. Professor Oak is dangerous. Dodu. Due to its almost non-existent wings, Dodu cannot fly very well. However, it has developed legs that make it a powerful runner. Reaching speeds of 60 miles per hour, or 100 kilometers, it energetically strides across the plains, leaving large 4-inch deep footprints behind it. It can better maintain balance while running by raising and lowering its 2 heads. That's actually cute. I'm not a fan of Dodu, though. Dodu does not go high on the list for me. Let's put it here. Dotrio is cool, though. Each head has its own working brain and distinct personality. Each head represents and expresses either sorrow, anger, or joy. Despite being separate, It has an innate ability to use all 3 of its brains to collect data, formulate, and then execute complex plans and strategies. Why is this bird smart? However, on occasion it may overthink, which causes it to become immobilized and unable to carry out any actions whatsoever. Being separate individuals on the same body, the 3 heads will continue to bicker until they or at least one of them gets to eat. This satisfies the other 2 heads, quelling them and temporarily ending their infighting. The strongest of the Dodrio heads and the thickest neck will become the leader and gain primary control of the body. Another form of adaptation that is acquired is the ability to have at least one head alert at all times. Extreme caution is advised when all 3 heads are facing separate directions. It is in this state that the most dangerous and going near it may result in severe pecking. It has 3 sets of hearts and lungs as well. Wow. I don't know if they can kill the other heads. Huh. That's crazy. Alright. Dodrio is really cool. I like Dodrio a lot. I think Dodrio at least falls into the neutral section. Let's put him right here. Seal! I love seal. Seal lives on icebergs in the frigid ocean waters. Its warm fur and thick hide allow it to swim in waters as cold as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 40 degrees Celsius. It thrives in these cold environments, becoming more active as the temperature drops and tires easily in warm waters. Preferring to sleep during the day, it hunts for prey under sheets of ice.
Why would you do that?
Into the late day, evening hours. When it is a graceful swimmer, it is awkward and struggles to move on dry land. Makes sense, it's a seal. Oh, I got a notification. Thank you for the follow. What Stinky Socks 3? I like your name. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Did I just close? No, I didn't. It's on a separate tab. Okay. Okay. Seal. Where do we put Seal? I like Seal. I think Seal is kind of cute. I'm gonna put him in my like section. I think I like him, but I like him less than Nidorina and Nidorina. Oh, thank you! Dugong! I like Dugong. Dugong is really cool too. I'm gonna actually just put Dugong up next to Seal, because I think they're both really cool. It lives on icebergs adrift in frigid ocean waters. It thrives in low temperatures. It literally has the same description as Seal. By storing thermal energy within its body, it is completely unharmed by even the most intense freezing weather. During daylight hours, it sleeps on bitter cold ice. It becomes a hunter at night, searching for prey such as wishy-washy. Okay, that makes sense. It likes to sunbathe on beaches after eating. That's kind of cool. Grimer! Oh man, Grimer. Due to its lack of a solid form, Grimer is capable of squeezing into any space or crevice with relative ease. It uses this to penetrate sewage pipes and feed off the filthy wastewater inside. I have mixed feelings about Grimers because they're kind of useful to preventing, like, hazardous waste, but they are hazardous waste. So it's kind of a mixed result. Its population fluctuates based on the availability of waste, which is Grimer's main diet. It can be found in polluted lakes and streams, as well as within cities and factories where trash and industrial waste can be found. In recent years, thanks to efforts in environmental improvements and a decrease in their food source of waste, Grimer is now facing extinction. That's dark! That's so dark! Grimer, for me, I'm gonna put him in the middle of the dislike. He's just kind of basic to me. Interesting. Okay, so the Alolan Grimer eats solid food instead of sludge as like an adaptation to its endangered species. That's so cool. I know, it's so funny. I'm gonna put this Grimer ahead of the other Grimer. I think it's interesting. I will put Muck on the neutral list, because I actually do like Muck. I think Muck is pretty dope. I actually used Muck quite frequently when I was playing the games. Muck is a living biohazard, leaking toxins that instantly kill all plant life it touches. Even it being close in proximity to plants will cause them to wilt and die. That's awful. Extreme caution is advised in avoiding any contact with this Pokemon, as it accidentally brushes up can lead to severe sickness. The effects of this Pokemon can leave the landscape barren for 3 years! It will readily consume nearly any waste or refuse generated by people and Pokemon alike. Muck's body produces a powerful odor that can cause fainting. However, despite the risks Muck's stench contains, some fans of Muck believe its stench is a good thing. Yeah, I know! I like Muck. I don't think I would ever want one in real life, but I liked him in the games. I don't know why I always had him on my team in, like, the early game. And I just think he's better because he's a bigger blob. I don't like Alolan Muck at all. Like, it's weird crystal amalgamation. I'd actually venture to put him there in the hate group. Is better? I'll read his description. Alolan Muck is unexpectedly quiet and friendly. However, it's not fed trash for a while. Its hunger will compel it to destroy its trainer's furnishing for food. It is thought that it cannot maintain its energy without constant source of toxins, which causes its voracious appetite. The crystals covering its body have a tendency to break off, which makes it extremely difficult to deal with due to its concentrated toxins contained within them. It does not produce a foul stench due to its toxins being contained within its body. Very interesting. Alolan Muck preys on Trubbish and Garbodor. Whoa! That's actually kind of cool. Okay, it's gotten an upgrade from me. Upgrade. Yeah, it feeds on Garbodors. That's kind of horrifying, actually. Alright. Shelter has an unusually strong appetite for the tail of a Slowpoke, and can develop a symbiotic relationship with the dopey Pokemon. After attaching itself to Slowpoke's tail, the two undergo a metamorphosis and evolve into Slowbro together. Alternatively, if it attaches to the head of a Slowpoke in possession of a King's Rock, the two will instead evolve into Slowking. Oh my god! While in its crown form, Shelter will periodically release its venom into Slowking's brain. This is actually beneficial to Slowking as it causes the Regal Pokemon's intelligence to increase. What the heck? Higher quantities of venom intensifies this effect, and Shelter is easily provoked into releasing more whenever Slowking yawns. However, Shelter Poison makes Slowbro more sluggish as it continues to drain nutrients from its host body. That's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Alright, just because of how absurd Shelder's lore is, it's in the neutral state for me. I'll put him right here. He's not the most interesting looking Pokemon, but such interesting lore. Cloyster typically only opens its shell to attack opponents. However, it is fully capable of retaliating against an enemy with its shell tightly closed. With rapid succession, it launches its spikes at the foe, keeping them repelled. The same projectile system is used to launch its spikes is also used for swimming. It swallows seawater and then ejects it towards the rear, pushing it through its siphon jet propulsion. Whoa, that's wild! Being the result of Shelder evolving through an evolution stone, Cloyster is rarely found in the wild. Cloyster and its pre-evolved form Shelder are relatives of Gastrodon. Kingler is a natural predator of Cloyster. Okay, cool. Cloyster is like... him and Shelder are pretty close together. They're not too far from me. Ghastly. It produces a faint, sweet smell. The toxic gas surrounding the main body can induce fainting and suffocation. It is capable of enshrouding an enemy of any size. Ghastly's gaseous form makes it one of the lightest Pokemon in existence. The Pokemon series episode suggests that Ghastly has a playful personality, often frightening and playing pranks on people for fun. Changing form and creating illusions, it's capable of phasing through solid objects and forming nightmares. Its gaseous body will dwindle away when exposed to strong winds, so they huddle together in decent-sized groups under houses' eaves to avoid wind. That's so cute. It may also cause flickering lights in abandoned houses. Yeah, I thought I would go faster than this. You're right, I'm doing very slow. We'll get through Gen 1 and then we'll stop. We're at 92 right now. I'll be honest, with the reading, I am losing my voice a little bit. I can feel it. I do like Ghastly. He goes there. Haunter. Haunter is one of my favorite Pokemon. Haunter goes to A tier and will probably sit there. Haunter hides in very dark places such as caves and is afraid of light. If a human or Pokemon comes near Haunter, it will stalk the victim while floating and beckoning it to come closer. Once approached, it will then lick the victim with its gaseous tongue, inflicting convulsions in the victim that last until death. That's terrible. It can also float through walls. It has been shown that it can control its hands from far away and control any Pokemon it touches with its hands. Ooh, so it's kind of like Tentacool. It can also float through walls and has been shown creating illusions, pulling spirits out of individuals' body, and even removing its own eyes from its face. Despite its predatory nature, it is known to entertain and prank people. It is shown to feel intense loyalty to its deceased trainer. Alright, that's kind of cool. Yeah, Haunter for me is an A. I love its aesthetics. I love that its hands are not attached to it. It's very cool. I don't like Gigantamax Gengar. I think it's a little too silly. But it's better than Magnemite. Regular Gengar is an S. I will give you regular Gengar as an S. Better than Blastoise, less than Jigglypuff. But I don't like the Gigantamax one. I think it's weird. I do like the Mega Gengar. He's all spiky and has a third eye. Alright, Gengar. Gengar has the ability to hide perfectly in the shadow of any object, granting it exceptional stealth. However, Gengar's body acts as a heat sink. Its presence cools the temperature of a surrounding area by 10 degrees or 5 degrees Celsius because it absorbs the warmth. It is shown in the Pokemon series that Gengar can fly, possess people and other Pokemon, create illusions, extend its tongue by several meters. Gengar is very mischievous and at times malicious, and enjoys playing pranks and casting curses, such as pretending to be one's shadow and then behaving erratically. He's loyal to a trainer that treats him well, and rarely found in the wild. Yeah. Gengar is definitely an S, but I don't like his Gigantamax form as much. Alright, Onix. Onix is kind of doo-doo. Onix goes here. He's just boring. Like, he's not ugly, he's just boring. Onix tunnels under the ground over 50 miles or 80 kilometers per hour, which causes tremors and a terrifying roar that echoes a long way. This sounds very Dune-like. Hard objects encountered while tunneling are absorbed into its body, which make it very sturdy, and it also consumes the boulders for food. Wait, so if an Onix absorbs, like, gems and crystals and stuff like that, does that translate to how it looks? Does it affect its appearance? It consumes boulders for food. The massive wind tunnels it leaves behind are used as homes by Diglets. Onix is capable of rotating its head or any part of its body in a full 360 degrees. It is a very aggressive Pokemon that will constantly attack humans and other Pokemon when it's in pain. Onix can separate its separated form of his body segments in battle and be fine later on, either regenerating or reattaching to its body segments. Onix lives for about 100 years and will evolve into a Steelix after its composition becomes more diamond-like. What a wild Pokemon! Drowsy. I'm not a fan of Drowsy, I'm gonna just put that out there. I don't think Drowsy is a very interesting Pokemon. He's in my dislike section. Probably there. Drowsy is able to put people to sleep and can then sense the person's dreams. This is so it knows what kind of dream it would be eating. It has certain preferences for the dreams it eats, and it is known to love fun dreams and become ill from bad dreams. That's cool. It will rarely eat the dreams of adults, as the dreams of children are seemingly tastier. Drowsy remembers every dream it has eaten and may show past meals to a person it trusts. Whoa, that's cool. It eats dreams through the victim's nose, so it is said that Drowsy that is standing over a person's pillow if their nose itches while they are asleep. Oh my god, that's horrifying! It sucks your dreams out through your nose! Alright, Hypno I like. Hypno is a cool Pokemon. We'll put him in the neutral section. I think he is probably right under Graveler. Hypno is able to put people to sleep by swinging its pendulum. It is known to reside away from humans and on less traveled roads. While it awaits its prey, it polishes its pendulum. If anyone comes by, Hypno will hypnotize them and eat their dreams. Carries away people having good dreams and even known to have stolen a child at one point. However, in the Alola region, its primary prey is Kamala, and cases of Hypno targeting humans are notably rare. Some Hypnos are even known to assist doctors in a hospital when the patient cannot sleep at night. That's really, really, really cool. Yeah, Kamala is a koala bear Pokemon that sleeps a lot. Alright, Krabby. We've gotten up to the Crab Master. I like Krabby. I put him, not before Ivysaur, I put him there. Because I just like him, his little... In the wild, Krabby lives near the edge of water in both fresh and salt water. Krabby is mostly commonly found in beaches where it burrows in the sand. In times of scarce food sources, it may eat sand to regain nutrients, okay? It will be very aggressive in defending its home. Its main form of defense is creating foam to shroud its body in order to confuse opponents into thinking it is bigger than it actually is. That's funny. That's really funny. Kingler is about the same as Krabby. There's not much difference in my perspective. Other than the fact that he's got a bigger... Where did I put him? Yeah, he's like right about there. Kingler is uglier. In fact, Kingler can go down here. I like him mainly because he's like got a giant hammer claw. I do not like Gigantamax Kingler at all. That thing is ugly as sin and can go in the F department. Put that right there. Kingler is often found on the edge of water, usually in oceans. Its powerful claws have 10,000 horsepower and are capable of prying open the shells of shelters and cloisters. While Kingler's large left claw is main tool for offense maneuvers, it is so large and heavy that Kinglers can barely lift it. It causes balancing problems and Kinglers may quickly become fatigued from continuous use. Interesting. Kingler is really ugly, you're right. Alright, Voltorb. Voltorb is generally found in power plants and other areas with electrical fields where it feeds. It was first discovered in the plant where modern Pokeballs were invented. That makes so much sense. It has a volatile temperament and will explode if agitated or bumped by the slightest contact. Due to it being constantly mistaken as a Pokeball, Voltorb has reportedly zapped many humans as a result. I think the fact that it is basically a defective Pokeball is really funny, but I'm not a fan of it visually. It goes in the E department. So does Electrode. Its wooden form is slightly better, but not by much. Why is it wood? I want to know why it has a wooden form. Hisuian Voltorb, like its modern counterpart, resembles the apricorn-made Pokeballs of the time period. That's cool! They are friendlier. That's kind of cool. And it laughs. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, they get upgraded just because they're friendly. I'll put them here. The wood form is indeed better. Yeah. Alright, Electrode. Electrodes can cause blackouts. The more electrical energy electrodes consume, the faster it moves. When full stored of electricity, it has been known to drift with the wind. Whoa, that is weird. Electrode explodes in response to even the smallest stimulation, simply to entertain itself, or because it has taken in too much electricity. That's ridiculous. However, unlike Voltorb, Electrodes can control its explosive ability at will. This unpredictability and explosive nature has earned it the nickname the Bomb Ball because of its appearance. Many trainers try to pick Electrodes up, mistaking it for an item. I mean, I don't know how you mistake a 4-foot ball as an item. It also weighs 146 pounds. Or 66 kilograms. How are you picking that up? How is a trainer thinking that that's an item? or a Pokeball. That makes no sense. Oh, wow. It's a grass type because it's wood. That's kind of cool. But yeah, it's not much different than the Voltorb. Execute. I hate Execute. It goes in my ugly Pokemon category. I would say it is uglier than Graveler. Execute gather in swarms of 6. The head communicates with each other by using a form of telepathy that only they can understand. Should the number of Execute be reduced to less than 6, the remaining Executes will attempt to replace it with a similarly sized Pokemon. It needs 6 Executes in order to stay balanced, or else it becomes nervous and cowardly. Pidgeotto and Crabrawler are its natural predators, which it chases off with psychokinesis. That's really funny. It's definitely not one of my favorites. I like Executor. Executor is better. I have a neutral feeling towards Executor. I like him more than Hypno. This thing is an abomination. It's hilarious though. I like it a lot. Let's put it here. The frickin' dragon thing. So absurd. Alright. Executor's heads think independently and don't appear interested in one another, so it makes a lot of noise as each head speaks its mind. They still appear to get along, though, for they never squabble amongst themselves. If all of the heads want to go in a different direction, its body is unable to move. That's very interesting. So it's opposite of the Dodrio, that the most important one takes precedent. They are able to communicate telepathically, as well as sometimes used to come to a joint decision. It uses Psychic's powers to fight, and since all 3 heads are capable, its power is tripled. If one of these heads grows too large, it falls off and groups together with others to become Execute. Oh, I didn't know that! That's really funny! It's not a solitary Pokemon. It can be sluggish during cloudy days due to the lack of sunlight, being the result of it's rarely found in the wild. Yeah, due to the abundance of sunlight in the Alola region, Executors that live there grow over 5 times taller than those in the other regions. That's really funny. Cubone! Cubone is an A tier Pokemon. Cubone is an A tier Pokemon that goes there. It is called a lonely Pokemon because of its tendency to keep to itself and avoid social situations. Due to the trauma caused by the death of its mother, Cubone will often weep at night in mourning of its mother. When Cubone cries, the skull that it wears on its head vibrates and emits a plaintive and mournful sound. So, like, I get the lore behind why it cries, but does that mean, does the mother die giving birth to Cubones? That sounds terrible. Its cries attract Mandibuzz, a natural predator. It is said a Cubone will evolve into Marowak once it comes into terms with its mother's death. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Cubone is known to cry while sleeping. Oh, that's so sad! Yeah, Cubone is definitely A tier for me. I also really liked Marowak and played Marowak quite a lot. I think Cubone is cuter, so I put him in front. Is there a Alolan Cubone? No, only Alolan Marowak. I know, the lore of that Pokemon is very sad. Marowak is well known for its ferocity with its bone club, which is said to collect from a hidden graveyard. Oh god. Despite its small size, Marowak's body is as sturdy as armor. Upon evolution, Marowak has overcome the grief of its mother's passing. Now ferocious and violent, Marowak is an adept combatant that uses the bone it carries as a weapon and a boomerang. Having evolved, it seeks vengeance on its natural enemy, Mandibuzz, which prey on Cubone because of its naturally weak and timid demeanor. Marowak has also been recorded pounding on boulders with bone clubs to carry a tapping out message to others. That's cool. It uses freaking... not necessarily Morse code via tapping, but kinda cool. It's a fire ghost type? That's interesting. I do like the Alolan one a lot. I would put it not ahead of Cubone, though. Alright. Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee's legs freely contract and stretch, similar to coiled springs. The source of its power comes from the ligaments in its legs that Hitmonlee can fully control. This flexibility allows Hitmonlee to run with lengthy strides, giving it a greater reach. Its excellent sense of balance enables it to kick in succession from any position. Hitmonlee's kick strength is incredibly powerful, owing to its diamond-like soles. Okay. Right before kicking an opponent, Hitmonlee will harden the muscles on the sole of its foot, allowing it to maximize the full power of its kick. Whoa! Alright. It is just I mean, it has arms. They're just not as strong as its legs. I liked Hitmonlee better than Hitmonchan. I would put him... there. Right, Hitmonchan. As its appearance suggests, Hitmonchan specializes in punches. It can throw punches that are too quick to be seen with the naked eye. Its punches are said to be as fast as a bullet train. It starts attacking foes with combo punches from both sides before finishing it with a single straight punch. A single straight punch by Hitmonchan can launch foes over 300 miles per hour. Wow. By punching with corkscrew motions, it's even capable of drilling through concrete, another one that can destroy concrete. Even a light graze from its punch will result in a burn. Wow. However, Hitmonchan requires a break every 3 minutes while fighting. Despite the need for frequent breaks, it has an unwavering spirit and will never give up in a difficult situation. Alright. I like it less than Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee, but... Probably here. I know, everybody and their grandma is so powerful. Alright. Lickitung. At over 6 feet 6 inches, 2 meters, Lickitung's tongue is twice as long as its body. Sticky, smelly saliva coats its tongue, which causes a tingling sensation when touched. It can cause rashes if not cleaned off. It is used for capturing prey, mainly bug-type Pokemon, reaching for berries, exploring its environment, attacking, and cleaning, although its effectiveness as a cleaning is questionable as saliva leaves behind a smell. Lickitung's saliva can also be used as a strong adhesive after cooking. What? After cooking it. Okay, okay. So, Lickitung makes glue. Got it. Lickitung remembers things by their texture and taste, although it apparently dislikes sour things. The tongue is both dexterous and powerful enough to lift people, and when capturing prey, Lickitung prefers to swallow them whole after paralyzing them. Lickitung is not an S. Yeah, cleaning is questionable for me. Lickitung isn't an S for me, but he's definitely an A. I do like Lickitung. He's just a little too derpy to be an A. Coughing. Coughing creates gas within its body by mixing toxins with garbage and producing more gas in higher temperatures. These gases are malodorous and cause sniffles, coughs, and teary eyes to those around them. The gases are also lighter than air, allowing coughing to hover. When agitated, it creates more toxic gas and expels it through the holes in its body. As shown in the Pokemon series, coughing's gas can be ignited by fire or electricity. It feeds on fumes of raw rotting trash found in gas dumps and polluted air. Coughing at one point was plentiful in the Galar region due to factories. Yeah, I agree with you. Coughing is not a C. Coughing is a D. He's definitely not one of my favorite Pokemon at all. I think I like him better than Tentacool though. No, better than Onyx. And same thing with Weezing. I actually like Coughing better than Weezing. However, the Galarian Weezing is pretty funny. Him in his top hat. I'll put him there. Yeah, I'll drop Weezing down. He can go there. Each of Weezing's heads contains a different toxin. It mixes its gases by inflating one head and deflating the other, so it's like a pump. When its gases mix, Weezings become more toxic and putrid. Weezings can hover in midair, presumably due to gases lighter than air. Despite their stench and poison, Weezing's gas can be used to make top-grade perfume by diluting them to the highest level. Ew! Why are you making perfume out of Weezing gas? Alright. Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn's brain is very small, giving it a one-track mind. When it runs, it forgets why it started and continues until it falls asleep. However, it may recall the reason for demolishing something. Due to its short legs, it is inept at turning and can only run in straight lines. It does not care if obstacles get in the way, merely smashing through them or sending them flying, although it may feel pain in the day after a collision. What the heck? This personality is how Rhyhorn expands its territory. Rhyhorn is powerful enough to shatter skyscrapers or mountains instantly after charging forward with head tackles. What? Why are Pokemon so powerful? I'm not a fan of Rhyhorn, but its lore is hilarious. I do like Rhydon, though. Rhydon is cool. Right there. Rhydon is a physically powerful Pokemon. It is recorded as being able to topple buildings with a sweeping blow of its tail, and its horn can bore through solid rock and shatter diamonds. Rhydon sharpens their horn by clashing them together. Its armor-like hide protects from heat and physical blows. It is stated to be capable of passing unscathed through streams of magma and withstanding a direct blow from a cannonball without being harmed. Why are you shooting Rhydons with cannonballs? However, because of this tough hide, it is insensitive. Despite its well-developed brain, it can be forgetful. Rhydon lives in rough terrain like caves and the top of mountains. I like how it's, like, smarter than the Rhyhorn significantly. Alright, Chansey. Chansey's a great Pokemon. Let's just start off there. Chansey's an A tier for me. I like Chansey a lot. Less than Lickitung, less than Nidoqueen, but Chansey is an A tier Pokemon. I like Blissey more than Chansey. That's the only reason I put Chansey at A. That's my reasoning. A kind-hearted Pokemon, Chansey will share its eggs with injured people and Pokemon. However, Chansey will never share its eggs to those with evil hearts. The eggs become more delicious if Chansey is raised with love and care. Chansey's eggs is used as high-class cooking ingredient due to the nutrition it has. As a result, Chanseys have been referred to as Dr. Doubles because of its eggs. Due to its eggs being over-harvested, Chansey is extremely rare in the wild, and is said to bring good luck and happiness to those who manage to catch it. Fleeing from those seeking its eggs made this once slow species much quicker on its feet than in the past. It is more commonly found in urban settings. That's funny. Poor Chansey. That's unfortunate. When you really think about it, like, humans eat very few bird eggs when you consider how many birds exist out there. Like, we eat chicken eggs, we eat duck eggs, we eat quail eggs. Sometimes I've seen people eat ostrich and goose eggs. But really not that many eggs are eaten. But could you just imagine having eggs from, like, all these different Pokemon? Alright, Tangela. Tangela can ensnare and entangle anything that moves too close to it with its vines. The vines constantly jiggle and sway, unnerving enemies and causing a tickling sensation if ensnared. Tangela's vines will snap off easily and painlessly if the target pulls on them, so it can quickly escape. That's really funny. The vines of Tangelas are said to have a refreshing flavor and scent. Okay, I didn't know we eat Tangelas, but I guess it makes sense. In Galar, its vines are used as herbs. Tangelas can usually be found in temperate grasslands, and is known to swing on tree branches using its vines. Tangela is mid for me. Tangela is mid for me. It's not great, it's not bad. I would put it, like, right under Golem for me. Its lore is interesting, but it's pretty basic as a Pokemon. Kangaskhan! Kangaskhan is an A. I like Kangaskhan a lot. I would put Kangaskhan above Nidoqueen. Mega Kangaskhan is right next to regular Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is a nurturing Pokemon that protects its young at all costs. It can move really fast, even with the baby in its pouch. The baby leaves the pouch only rarely until it is 3 years old. In order to avoid crushing the baby, Kangaskhan sleeps standing up. Oh my god, poor mom. If the mother feels the environment is safe, it will allow its young out to play. However, it will violently attack anything that it sees as threatening to its young, as sleeping while the baby sits on top of its back. They are known to raise other species of Pokemon alongside their own children, and records exist which describe a childless Kangaskhan as raising a lost human child. Oh, that's really cute! Regardless of how badly injured it becomes, the mother will not cease fighting until its young is safe. It uses quick jabs to intimidate its enemies. Although it was nearly hunted to extinction, Kangaskhan can be found in savannas and other grasslands. It is a super busted kangaroo. So the only thing about Kangaskhan that's like a little weird to me is that they are only ever females. So how do they reproduce? I guess you breed them with other creatures, which is weird. That is their primary way of reproduction. And at what point does the Kangaskhan change from purple to brown? Horsey is next. Horsey feeds on insects and moss gathered from rocks. If Horsey senses danger, it sprays water or dense black ink from its mouth at its attacker. It can shoot more precisely at insects flying above the surface of the water. Horsey nests in coral reef and islands throughout the ocean in gentle currents. Many eggs are laid every year, and the young are raised by the male horsey rather than the female. Horsey swims with a dancing motion and creates whirlpools in the process. Horseys tend to compete with each other to see who can create the biggest whirlpool. That's actually really funny. That's funny and cute. Yeah, I would agree with you. Horsey's kind of basic. Nothing super special about it. More than Gengar, less than Hitmonlee. Alright, Seadra. Seadra can swim in any direction while facing forward by rapidly flapping its fins and tail. It catches its prey by spinning its body and creating large whirlpools. When its prey is exhausted, Seadra swallows it whole using its long snout. Oh my god! Seadra makes its nest by either wriggling between or anchoring itself to branches of coral under the ocean. It is markedly vicious and will mercilessly attack those who venture near its nest. During this time, the male's venom also becomes thicker and stronger than usual. Huh. Yeah, I don't like Kingdra all that much either. I wouldn't put it as a D. But it's definitely not as nice as Horsey is. I would put it probably... here. Goldeen! Goldeen has a wild temperament and will use its horns to smash its way to freedom if kept in an aquarium. It competes with others of its kind to determine which has the strongest, thickest horn. Humans swimming near it must exercise caution, lest Goldeen rams at them. Oh god. Goldeen is a very common sight in any body of fresh water, including ponds, lakes, rivers, and can be seen swimming upstream in large schools during breeding season in spring. Its strong fins allow it to maintain steady speed of 5 knots while swimming upstream. Wow. Goldeen is kind of bland to me. Not a fan. Knots is a speed term for water. I'm not a fan of Goldeen, nor am I a fan of Sea King. They can go together. It's super meh. In the autumn spawning season, Sea Kings grow fatter and more vibrant. That's funny. Sea Kings use its powerful horn to bore holes in riverbed boulders in order to shelter its eggs from water currents. A mated pair take turns patrolling around their new nest for roughly a month, defending it with their lives. Huh. I think most people get more chubby in winter season. Staryu. When the sun goes down, Staryu's core glows its brightest. Many Staryu will float from the seafloor to the surface and align themselves with stars of the night sky as their core flickers, displaying a connection with the celestial bodies of space. That's actually really interesting. In the Pokemon series, it is shown that if Staryu becomes weak, its core will glow faint and flash slowly. During the end of summer, groups of Staryu tend to gather while lighting up in steady rhythm. Staryu can be found at the very bottom of the ocean on the seafloor. Huh. That's cool. Staryu is C for me, but it's a high C. I'd put it around there. Starmie, however, is a B for me. A low B. Probably here. Alright, so Starmie. From its core, Starmie can emit electrical waves that are powerful enough to reach the furthest parts of the universe. Is it another space Pokemon? I didn't know that. The multicolored glowing of its core is also believed to be a method of communication with other members of its species. As seen in the Pokemon series, the core will go dark if Starmie is knocked unconscious and will sometimes flicker if Starmie is low on health. Because of its body shape and habit of sending transmissions skyward, some people believe this Pokemon to be extraterrestrial. It has been known to cause headaches on people when approaching. It is rarely seen in the wild since it requires a rare evolution stone to evolve it. Yeah, that's really news to me. You're not too salty with my tastes today? Mr. Mime! From birth, this Pokemon is an excellent pantomime. As it matures, it gains the ability to solidify air molecules by vibrating its fingertips. This ability allows it to create invisible objects with its gestures. It punishes those who interrupted its act or are not impressed by slapping them. Jeez! Mr. Mime is adept at rock climbing. Usually very rare and can be found in suburban areas. Huh. Ash's stepfather. Mr. Mime is definitely not my cup of tea. I would put him probably here. And I don't like this one at all. I think this one's way worse. Not as bad as the frickin' Persian, though. Scyther... Scyther is Scyther an S tier? Yeah, Scyther is S tier for me. Scyther is S tier for me. Scyther is an adept hunter that tears at its prey with its sights. Thanks to its green coloration, it can camouflage itself well with grasslands and forests where it lives. Humans rarely encounter wild Scythers in these areas, however. Said to be like a ninja, Scyther can move so quick that it cannot be followed, increasing the effectiveness of its scythes. It maintains the sharpness of its blade through battle as well as by cutting through hard objects such as trees. It can cut down a massive tree with just a single slice, although it cannot penetrate Tarantula's elastic threads. Interesting. The spider threads, it can't cut those? Wild Scythers form swarms with a single leader chosen through combat. That makes sense. When a challenger successfully defeats a current leader and replaces it, the defeated leader is exiled from the swarm. Wow. Scyther becomes aggressive when faced with the color red. That's really ironic considering it evolves into Caesar, which is red. Jinx is a horrifying creature and should never have been made. Here. No, Jinx is disgusting. Jinx is an abomination. Jinx has a language that sounds similar to human speech, including several crying patterns. However, the language is yet to be deciphered. It prefers to communicate using dance-like moves. There are some musicians who compose songs for Jinx to sing. These rhythmic movements often cause people to dance along with it. The Jinx and Alola are said to have wonderfully precise movements. In certain parts of the Galar, it has been feared and worshipped, being called the Queen of Ice. The Jinx and Galar are said to have beautiful, delicate voices, and a fan base is dedicated to them. Jinx are able to extend their lips to kiss its opponent. Jinx often found in urban areas. No. Jinx is terrifying. I don't like Jinx at all. I would like to see an Alolan Jinx, though. I might like an Alolan Jinx because the Jinx... Yeah, Jinx used to get flamed for being a racist Pokemon. But I would like to see an Alolan Jinx. An Alolan Jinx sounds really cool. Because the Alolan Jinx would be like a hula dancer. Which I think is really dope. And it would be kind of cool if they made a Galar Jinx that was like more Ice Queenie. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, overall, I don't like Jinx. I've never liked Jinx. Smoochum, however, Smoochum we can talk about. But we're not getting to Smoochum today. Electabuzz. Electabuzz is A tier. And it goes below Chansey. In the dark, Electabuzz will glow light blue from the electrical charges running across its body. That's cool. It is constantly leaking more electricity than it can consume. Bearing near an Electabuzz will cause a human's hair to stand up on ends. Electabuzz often gather in groups around tall trees and wait for the upcoming storm. During torrential thunderstorms, Electabuzz will compete to find locations likely to be struck by lightning to absorb the electrical power. That's funny. Electabuzz is often used as an alternative to lightning rods because it is unharmed by the absorption of electricity. It is also capable of entirely non-verbal communication via electrical currents when near another of its species. Blackouts have been known to happen when groups of Electabuzz gather to consume electricity from power plants. And they often get blamed for occurring power outages. As a result, ground-type Pokemon are kept around power plants to keep Electabuzzes from raiding. Although the blackouts are usually the fault of electrical companies, not Electabuzz. There is ongoing research on using Electabuzz to store away lightning until it is needing to be used later. That is so funny. They raid power plants. Yeah, that's a good point. Electabuzzes should just hang out with Pikachus. That's really funny. Magmar is a cool Pokemon in terms of, like, skill, but I'm not a fan of Magmar's aesthetics. Like, it's the fact that it's a volcano Pokemon is cool, but I don't like that it's a fire duck dragon. So, it goes in my... It's, like, right above Golduck for me. It does have the boobs on its face. I don't like it at all. In fact, I'm gonna actually drop it down to dislike. No, actually, I think it was rightly placed there. I'm neutral about it. There are some things I like about it, but some things I don't like about it. Magmar's body temperature is nearly 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit, or 1,200 degrees Celsius, giving its body an orange glow. How does any trainer actually own this Pokemon? It would literally set your house on fire. Just by being there. Not even trying to set your house on fire. Because it hates cold places, this Pokemon typically resides in and around active volcanoes where it is born from. This Pokemon has even been known to spit scorching flames to establish an ideal warm environment for itself. The Magmar found in Alola are said to be sturdier than Magmar found anywhere else. Huh. I know, it just stands there. It doesn't have to do anything. It'll just kill you. Pinsir. Pinsir is a weird one for me. I never liked Pinsir nearly as much as Scyther. But I acknowledge that he is strong. I would say he's, like, bottom neutral for me. He's a C. Pinsers can use its pincers to crush and toss, bludgeon, or tear opponents, lifting things twice its weight and shatter logs. Captured prey is kept in place by piercing thorns and sheer strength of Pinsir's horns, and will not be released until they are torn in half. Oh god. Pinsir's horns are quite flexible, as depicted on the trading cards. In addition to hunting prey, it shows that it enjoys eating tree sap. Pinsir lives deep in temperate forests and jungles where it burrows underground. I didn't know it burrows. Or hides in the treetops on nights cold enough to render it immobile. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's very much like a beetle. It has a rivalry with Vikavolt and Heracross. Pinsers are known to judge each other based on their pincers. The pincer determines its popularity with the opposite gender based on how more thick and impressive it looks. Jesus. I don't like its mega form at all. Not a fan of the mega form. Yeah, it is a cockroach with wings. Alright, Tauros. Tauros is a violent, rowdy Pokemon that whips itself into a frenzy using its 3 tails. It serves as a warning to others that Tauros is about to charge with astonishing speed. Once it starts charging, it is unable to stop or change course until it hits something. Tauros are capable of smashing through large boulders when charging. It lives and travels in herds on plains and grasslands. It will lock horns with others of its kind, and the herd's protector takes pride in its battle-scarred horns. Huh. It's very meh. Agreed. It's very meh. I'll put it about there. I do like its alternate forms, though. Particularly the Blaze form is kind of cool. The Aqua form is boring. And so is the other one. Magikarp! Magikarp is doo-doo! I don't like Magikarp. Magikarp's boring. Magikarp's boring. Magikarp is found in many bodies of water, such as lakes, rivers, and ponds. However, due to its weak swimming ability, it usually lives downstream of water flow. It's useless. It's the useless Pokemon. Now, Gyarados. Gyarados is an A-tier Pokemon, for sure. Less than Cubone. Less than Marowak. I don't like its freaking Mega Form at all. Not a fan. The process of evolution causes a change in its brain structure that is believed to cause its violent nature. Gyarados' fangs can crush stones and its scales are harder than steel. Gyarados is feared for its fierce temper and wanton destructive tendencies since ancient times. In some regions, Gyarados is called the deity of destruction because of this. It appears in times of conflict and destroys the surrounding area. It rampages have been known to last a month at a time. Wow. These rampages can occur even during a harsh storm. A Gyarados' rage won't stop completely until everything is destroyed. Some believe any human settlement is fated to be destroyed should a Gyarados appear. Gyarados lives in both fresh and salt waters. Both Gyarados and its megaform have demonstrated in Pokemon Chronicles they can leap huge distances both from water and from the ground. Huh. Alright. You gotta go take a shower before work. Go, go. We're only getting through the original 150, and then I'm stopping. Because my throat is actually starting to hurt. Alright, so Lapras. Lapras is A. I like Lapras a lot. More than Nidoqueen. This Gigantamax Lapras is kind of ridiculous looking, though. It looks like it's supposed to be a ship. Not a fan. Gonna put that back down here. Lapras is a gentle, helpful Pokemon that enjoys ferrying people across bodies of water. In the past, its docility made it an easy target for hunters and was driven to near extinction. Recent protection efforts have seen Lapras become overabundant instead, which is now affecting the fish Pokemon numbers in some areas. That's funny. An intelligent Pokemon, it can understand human speech. As seen in the Pokemon series, Lapras has been known to travel in large pods across the sea, spanning both polar and tropical areas. To keep in touch with others of its kind, it sings enchanting melodies. Lapras usually sings when it's in a good mood. Okay, that's pretty cool. Ditto! Where are you, Ditto? Ditto is an A-tier Pokemon. It's just so stupid. I love Ditto. Okay, sorry about that. Blowing my nose. It is Play-Doh. You hate Ditto! How do you hate Ditto? He doesn't have very much information about him. Ditto bears a variety of unusual and often entertaining unique traits that set it apart from every other Pokemon. It is capable of transforming into an exact replica of any physical object or... Oh, objects too? Or living creature, including its forms and abilities. Each Ditto has its own strength and weaknesses when it comes to transforming. Being unable to remain transformed while laughing, and getting details of its transformation wrong if based on memory being apparently universal. That's really funny. It cannot mimic human speech. It transforms into a rock when sleeping to avoid being attacked. But what if it runs... But... What? Why do you hate me? What? Ditto is such a weird Pokemon. It turns into a rock when it's sleeping, but what if, like... What if a Graveler comes up to it and eats it? Or tries to eat it? Alright, alright. We've gotten to my best friend. My best friend Pokemon. Eevee. Eevee. Eevee best Pokemon. Eevee best Pokemon. Eevee best Pokemon. Eevee best Pokemon! Don't even... Eevee beats Pikachu. Eevee is rarely found in the wild. It is mostly only found in cities and towns. It is said to have an irregular shaped genetic structure that is easily influenced by its environment. This allows it to adapt to a variety of habitats by evolving. Eevee can potentially evolve into 8 different evolutions. Eevees can also start to adopt the face of the trainer that it owns. That's a weird thing. Eevee's genes are believed to have the key to solve the mysteries of Pokemon evolution. Huh, that's cool. Eevee is a great Pokemon, and you're just a hater. Gigantamax Eevee is bleh. It's okay. I'm neutral towards it. It's not creepy! My favorite Pokemon is adorable. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the evolutions end up in the high end of this. Vaporeon being one of them. Yeah. Let's see. I'm pretty sure Vaporeons can purify water. It can camouflage itself. Jolteon. Jolteon is a B for me. Probably here. Bye! Thanks for being here, Alfonso. Jolteon is the best. I'll see you on Monday, Alfonso, hopefully. Flareon is absolutely an S tier for me. Flareon's body temperature is caused by its internal flame sac and rises when it's excited. If its body gets too hot, it will fluff out the fur on its collar to cool down. Flareon stores and heats inhaled air in its flame sac and then exhales its fire at temperatures of 3100 degrees Fahrenheit or 1700 degrees Celsius. Flareon's average body temperature is around 1300 to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 to 800 Celsius. Jesus. It is an omnivore that roasts either berries or prey for consumption. Flareon has a curious personality and is mostly found in populated areas and rarely seen in the wilderness. Flareon is an awesome Pokemon. Definitely above Vaporeon for me. Oh, thanks for the clip! Porygon! Porygon is such a weird Pokemon. But I do like it. I would say Porygon goes here. Okay, due to its man-made origins, Porygon does not need to breathe or eat, though it can still accept food if given. What the heck? It has the ability to convert its body into digital data, allowing it to travel through cyberspace. I didn't know it could do that. Recently has become more helpful inside cyberspace by searching for any suspicious data that exists. Some believe Porygon has the power to potentially travel in space despite the species not displaying the ability yet. Because it's man-made, it is generally found in computers or in labs and other buildings where people work. That is a really weird Pokemon. Omanite is cute. We put Omanite in the neutral territory, above Horsey. Omanite is considered extinct, although it can be revived from fossils. Its fossils have been excavated in areas that were once oceans long ago. Omanite regulated its buoyancy by storing and releasing air within its shell, and controlled direction by twisting its tentacles. When Omanite fed on plankton, it was preyed on by Archaeopes and Caracosta. Omanite can now be found in the wild due to being released by people or escaping after being restored to life, causing the species to become a problem. That's really interesting. But why is it becoming a problem? I don't like Omastar. Omastar scares me. I don't like its mouth. Its mouth is very concerning to me. It falls in line with Pinsir on the creepy scale. It is believed that Omastar's extinction was a consequence of increasingly heavy weight of its shell that affected its mobility, including its hunting. Omastar swam the sea in search of prey, including prehistoric shelders. It attacks only when prey comes near its tentacles. Omastar uses its tentacle to ensnare its prey before biting down with the deadly force of its beak. Its fangs are powerful enough to crush through rocks. With the shell broken, it would suck out the contents. Omastar was in turn preyed upon by Caracosta. Omastar is thought to be a distant ancestor to Octillery. That's interesting. Kabuto. Kabuto's kind of bland. He's kind of bland. Underneath the shell is a black space that hides the structure of Kabuto's main body. Only its 4 short yellow legs and second pair of luminescent red eyes are visible on the underside. In its original time, Kabuto was prominently found on beaches, likely aided by its fast and powerful swimming ability. When it's commonly believed to be extinct, isolated populations of Kabuto have been unchanged for 300 million years. Wow. I did not know that. Kabutops is cool. I like Kabutops. Kabutops can go to B section above Nidoking. Before it went extinct, Kabutops was in the process of evolving into a land dweller, as evident by the changes in its gills and legs. This change is thought to be due to its prey moving onto land as well. In its ocean home, Kabutops could tuck up its limbs to help it swim extremely fast, up to roughly 29 knots. It uses its sharp scythe to slice enemies and drink their internal fluids. Lovely. Any leftovers left behind by Kabutops are consumed by other Pokemon. It is unknown what led to Kabutops' extinction. Okay. Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl I'm not a big fan of. Too clunky for me. We'll put him here. And his spiky form is even worse. Aerodactyl's serrated saw-like fangs and ferocious attitude were very imposing at its time. Its fangs can rip out throats and tear through the skin of any Pokemon it pierces. Even Steel-type Pokemon. Wow. Okay, that's really powerful. By spreading its wings, Aerodactyl is believed to have flown by gliding through the sky, freely letting out its high-pitched cries. However, it is slow to walk on land and is likely to nest in mountains, where it enjoys both safety and seclusion. Aerodactyl lives in prehistoric times and was theorized to become extinct thanks to a giant meteor impact. It was restored in modern times using genetic material extracted from amber. Some casualties occurred during these attempts. Even still, this restoration is not considered perfect. Alright. I mean, I don't like Aerodactyl. Again, it's falling into that fat dragon with short wings trope that I don't like. Snorlax is S tier. Snorlax is 100% S tier. And I would put Snorlax above Gengar. I love Snorlax. Snorlax is often found in mountain and forests, waking up only to eat, requiring 900 pounds or 400 kilograms of food per day before returning to its slumber, although it can also eat while it is resting. That's an impressive feat. It is not a picky eater, and its strong stomach allows it to eat even moldy food without feeling any ill effects. It can even handle thorny plants or Muck's poison. It eats Muck's poison? Snorlax is docile enough to let children and small Pokemon bounce on its large stomach. Despite its apparent laziness, however, Snorlax can exhibit tremendous power when prompted. Snorlax is known to appear without warning in villages and steal their food supplies, such as rice granaries, which has long been considered a disaster whenever this happens. Professor Neroli does research on Snorlax, particularly on their ability to attract Pokemon around them to sleep. A lot of Pokemon tend to gather around Snorlax to sleep near it or on it, probably because they feel safe next to it. Alright. The Gigantamax Snorlax. It's a little much for me. I'm neutral towards it. Probably there. Articuno. Articuno can go to... here. I really like Articuno. I like the idea of Phoenix Pokemon. Articuno has the power to control ice at will. When Articuno flaps its wings, it can chill the moisture in the air around it, making it snowfall. It flies from Icy Mountain to Icy Mountain. According to the legend, it appears before doomed travelers lost in the icy regions. And it also guides them to safety sometimes. Huh. In Galar, Articuno could apparently shoot lasers from its eyes. Huh. It's psychic. Interesting. It is a cool looking Pokemon. I would actually put it right next to the original. But not as cool as. Zapdos! Zapdos, for some reason, was always my favorite for whatever reason. I just like his spikiness. It's funny that I like how spiky Zapdos looks, but I don't like Fearow. When Zapdos flaps its glittering wings, it releases electricity that can potentially cause thunderstorms. It produces massive crackling and snapping sounds when it flies. These are attributed to the lightning bolts that shed when it's airborne. Zapdos reportedly appears only during thunderstorms and gains power when struck by lightning. It is said to live among thunderclouds, but is rarely seen. In Galar, Zapdos has a different appearance. Its body is reddish-orange with black plumage. Its head features yellow eyes with more pronounced, mask-like black coloration around them. Is it a fighting type? It's a fighting type. It's an angry chocobo, essentially. Galarian Zapdos seeks its opponent stronger than itself so it could test its might. It's like a souped-up Blaziken. Blaziken chocobo. Capable of destroying a dump truck, it can run across mountains at up to 180 miles per hour, or 300 kilometers per hour. Its wings have atrophied to the point that it can barely fly, but its movements are so swift that it has been compared to lightning. That's so strange, but I actually really like its design. I'd wager I like its design enough to put it in an A tier. Probably like here. I like the angry chocobo design. Moltres. Moltres sheds embers with every flap of its wing, creating a brilliant flash of flames. By dipping itself into the magma of active volcanoes, this Pokemon can heal itself. I didn't know it could do that. That's cool. It migrates from the south with the coming of spring and is said to bring early springtime to cold lands. There have been stories of Moltres using its wings to assist those lost in the mountains. In Galar, Moltres has a similar build with drastically different color schemes. It is a dark type. Its sinister energy that blazes from within its body is so oppressive that most Pokemon can't even approach it. The aura has a power to consume the spirits of its victims, reducing them to burned out shadows of themselves. That's spooky. Let me see what it looks like up close. I like the colors, but I don't like how its features got rounded out. Moltres is really cool. I would put Moltres below Articuno. And I don't like this one as much. Probably here. Ugh, Dratini is so cute. Dratini's life energy is constantly building, so it's always growing and can reach lengths of over 6 feet. As it grows, it sheds its skin regularly. It hides behind rapid waterfalls during the process to protect itself, since the new skin is soft in texture. The shedded skin can be tanned and used to create luxury boots. Dratini has been referred to as the Mirage Pokemon because his existence was originally thought to be nothing more than a myth. Huh. I like Dratini, Dragonair, and I would probably put Dratini here. Dragonair, not as much, but I do like Dragonair. Probably there. Dragonair emits a gentle aura that gives its mystical appearance. As seen in the show, it can make its wings grow larger in order to fly, but otherwise movements through the air are unaided. Dragonair has hosts a large amount of energy within its body, which can discharge through the crystal on its neck and tail. It's cool. I like Dragonite. I still think it's a bit derpy. Despite its bulky build, Dragonite is capable of flying faster than the speed of sound, being able to circle the globe in 16 hours. That's insane. A kind-hearted Pokemon with human-like intelligence, Dragonite shows signs of altruism and is said to save humans from drowning or lead lost or found ships to safety. As demonstrated in the Great Bowls of Fire, however, it will go on an uncontrollable and destructive rampage if its environment is threatened. It is known to engage in fierce battles with Kingdra whenever they meet. That's funny. Where would I put Dragonair? I like Dragonair a lot. He's an S tier. You know what? I like all of them a lot. They're really cool. And then we are at our last few. We have Mewtwo. Aesthetically, Mewtwo for me is kind of creepy. I like him more than Aerodactyl, but I don't particularly like Mewtwo, any of his forms, if I'm being honest. I really don't like the X form at all. And I'm not a huge fan of his Y form either. Though I think it's a little bit better than the X form. We all know about Mewtwo was made in a science facility based on Mew's DNA. And then there's Mew! The last of our lists for today. Mew, for me, is a... Mew is an S tier. Mew has shown a playful, childish personality, showing signs of intelligence, curiosity, and shyness, and playfulness, even selfishness. It's said to have the DNA of every single Pokemon contained in its body. That's kind of crazy. This is causing many scientists to theorize that Mew is the ancestor of all Pokemon. Huh. Okay. Pretty cool. Alright, so this is our tier list. I actually have more S tiers than I thought I would have. And not many Pokemon that I think are actually terrible, terrible. But I think I'm done for today. My voice is kind of getting shot. I've been talking consistently the entirety of this stream. So, thank you for all watching. If you're new, please leave a follow on Twitch and a sub on YouTube. I appreciate it a lot. And I will do Gen 2 probably on Monday. But thank you for watching. Have a good night.